Hey, there we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, Arvonauts, again. Welcome to our final stream of Tuesday, Tuesday the 18th, 2022, as we are here for a monthly experience, which is always a lot of fun, and that is this game, but with the Arvocalists, with the voiceover crew, the incredible voiceover crew of Little Red Dot and Darkside Rob and Zach Clay. And before I go any further, I do want to remind everybody about ways to support us here. Very quickly, I've already done this earlier today, so just quickly, exclamation point ArvTube, please subscribe to me over there. Exclamation point ArvCourt is the Discord. Exclamation point ArvTweets is the Twitter. Website, arvanelleron.com. Financially, we have got the exclamation point ArvShop. Exclamation point ArvTreon for the Patreon. Again, the website for that, by the way, is arvanelleron.com. You can sub to the channel, which is always appreciated. For books, exclamation point Icarus for my Icarus graphic novel. Exclamation point Library for Tales and Tomes, the Forbidden Library. And exclamation point Greyshade KS for more details about the Greyshade Kickstarter coming very soon. And as always, exclamation point BLM, Black Lives Matter, very important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives, and exclamation point Help Now, which is the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Very important to reach out to others when you need help and to reach out to others when they need help as well. I've already talked about schedule earlier today, but just as a reminder for folks, we've got this going on right now. Then we have got tomorrow. We're going to be off tomorrow and Thursday. On Friday, we will be back with some Esper Genesis, which is going to be awesome. And then Saturday, we return to the world of Eberron as all the players have recovered from the various maladies and ailments that plagued them last Saturday, or a week from this past Saturday, I guess. And we will be back with Eberron, where the dead wait, Oracle of War, where the dead wait, as they continue to try to hold off this siege of the undead. And then next week, we'll be back with the Patreon Field Chat Chosen Game of the Month, which is the Council, was the one that won that. And then some more D&D with GOG, Ghosts of Saltmarsh. And that will wrap us up, I think, or move us towards wrapping us up. I think we've got some Golden Sun coming towards the next weekend. So that'll wrap us up as we move towards the end of January and moving into February of 2022. But what we've got right now is the Arvocalists. We do have them, although I will mention that the Arvocalists, it's a little bit different than normal because of two reasons that I'll talk about in just a second. So I'm going to unmute myself and apologize unreservedly for apologizing them because I can't hear them yet. And then I'm going to unmute them.
When you can sell, money, business, capitalism. What are we doing? What's going on?
There you go. Because that, ladies and
did something happen today? I'm sorry. What?
That's what we've got right here, and this is the Arvocalists. You can see that we are here. We are ready to go. I will say, there's a couple things that you will note there. The first is that the person who's missing right there is Russ. That is because Russ has recently welcomed his third child to the family.
Woo,
congratulations, and
Russ is on a covert op
and
in
Godspeed. Is all I can say.
In a far-off land.
Yeah. So congratulations to Russ.
Last time we heard from him, he was in the Congo. We don't know where he is now.
Pretty much, and the arrival of his third child.
In the Congo.
Russ is going to be off from the Arvocalists for a couple of months for understandable reasons. But that's why you see the Arvocalist unavailable there. And then the person above right now is not actually Little Red Dot in moving dynamic form. It's in still form because of a reason that I think only Dot can explain to you, so that I don't seem as if I'm being silly. So I will say welcome to the still picture, but not the still voice of Dot. Hi, Dot. How are you? And
we're going back to the original days of the radio drama, ladies and gents.
You can explain why we're in
Arvocalists, kids.
We're in this situation. Why? So Dot, welcome, and yeah, why are you with us just in still form only?
For immersion, really.
Yeah.
Arv.
Yeah, exactly.
Still water, not sparkling form. It's very flat.
No. So in full transparency, my cat chewed through my HDMI cable. In all its embarrassment, I will let you know, my cat chewed through my cable, which I did not realize until too late in the day to get a replacement before this evening's stream. So today, literally for all my streams today, I have been nothing but voice. I'm all voice today. So
yeah, and I appreciate you doing that. Mrs. Dunsel's reaction.
Which, by the way, so everybody knows, this is third stream of the day. That's only voice. days.
Oh my God.
So your cat got up early to ruin your day.
She picked the one day where I had the most streaming, like back to back 10 hours to choose through a fucking cable. Oh wait, I shouldn't say that.
Most busy day of the week.
The early like
Let's
criminal,
see.
the early criminal setup montage, right? Has the cat like looking at its wrist, waiting.
Y'all, there was
Now,
a literal
cut, you know?
sound effect that came out of the ether when I found the end of the cable, because she didn't just like gnaw on it, she chewed through it, like from side to side. It was two halves, and I like, it was that like comedic moment, like following the cable to the end, and it literally the universe went womp womp womp.
Oh, but
So anyways.
so you're here, and we sympathize, but at least your voice is with us, and that's
Yes.
something. So
Yes,
we're-
I am
Dot's
here
cat
in
is
voice.
also a lynx, just so you know. It's
she's
enough.
just- y'all,
seriously.
she's just teething, and it's like a whole thing. And I haven't had a kitten in over a decade. I've not had a kitten in over a decade. And either I'm too old for this shit, or something has changed, because my patience, I don't remember the last one being like this. Maybe I have more cables than last time. I don't know.
That's what it is.
But
Less
I'm here.
patience, more cables. More
Less
cats.
patience,
Well, you need
more
to
cables.
you
and
need
more
to stop.
kittens, technically.
Yeah.
You need to stop spilling the catnip all over your cables. That's really your first
Exactly.
problem. Okay.
It says cat friendly. What does that mean?
Yeah,
I'm
So
sorry to
anyways,
hear that.
I'm
Otherwise,
here.
yes.
I'm doing the thing. Maybe before the night's out, I'll tell you the great story of how I've also lost my coffee pot. As well, in the last week, my coffee maker died. I currently am making coffee, y'all, from a camping percolator on my stove. That's where I'm at. So between I've gone back to the freaking dark ages. I have no camera, and I'm making coffee from a camping percolator.
The next thing you know, it's all just going to be Hunger Games, like just Dateline 35. No one sees anything. I thought you meant that your cat also took out your coffee maker. I'm like, what did you get?
The coffee maker is a completely separate, ridiculous series of events that only my life could present.
They're gonna find Dot in the middle of her apartment with just like a pyre going off in a midsummer nightmare, just going like, I don't know what the cat is doing anymore.
It becomes the great new gift of 2022, because that is how I feel.
Holding a soccer ball with like drawn on it, Wilson, just like staring at the ball, is completely snapped.
Yeah. So anyways, I am excited to be here because I am making, I told you this coffee story, because I am making my coffee on my percolator. It takes about 10 minutes longer than the average coffee maker to drip. So I don't have my coffee yet. So I will be disappearing for 2 minutes to pour my coffee.
I understand. I'm gonna
Not
wait.
that you're gonna see that, but
then you're gonna just hear from her audio feed, just bzz, 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 as the cat chews through the cable that's left.
Yeah, so
I've actually replaced my tea maker with some kind of Rube Goldberg machine that's behind my. It takes about an hour and a half for the whole machine to go through its thing to get the tea out to me. So don't worry, if I get up and come back, it's just because if there's like an axe in my head or something.
Yo, my life's a farce. All I need are slamming doors.
Well, it's good to see you, Dot. Well, good to see you. Good to hear you. It's sorry, too soon. It's good to hear you,
Yes.
Dot. And thank you
tonight's show is nothing on
for
here at the
being with
theater.
us, even in voice form. That is appreciated. Russ is not here, as we said, but Zach is here, and as far as I know, has not had anything chew through any cables.
What are you talking about? I'm right here with 400 glasses on.
I got one. I can solve that problem
Look,
for you.
Yeah,
I'm Russ. I've got 8 million glasses on. I just got to find the other 799 million. Hold on.
Zach, how are you doing? How's life in the universe with you? How are you managing? I know you're slowly getting back into things. How you feeling? And are your cables intact, I guess, is my question.
Let me see. Yeah. Yep.
If Dot's cat shows up there and starts eating through your
We got a
cables,
problem.
we have a real problem.
you need to call animal services.
No, I'm doing great. I am very excited to get into the story tonight, and especially here we go. Wait, yeah. Especially because realizing that this has to do with the larger setting of D&D, the city of Sigil and all that stuff. So I'm very excited to get into voicing stuff again, and that's about it. I mean, I guess I should mention the Sunday I'm doing. I don't know what it'll be. I want it to be a subathon, which is.
I wanted to mention something to you guys. I'm doing something this weekend. I don't know what it is. I haven't really thought it through, but it might happen.
It's going to be a longer stream, because I kind of convinced myself that I'm just going to stream a very long time on Sunday.
Really?
longer than the normal like 3 to 4 hours. And it might be a subathon or something, but we're gonna play Minecraft. I'm gonna be playing Alien Isolation with my friend Maddie.
Nice.
Even though it's not a co-op game, a long time ago we started a playthrough where we both started the game at the exact same time and both streamed it and played together. Like we would be in a voice call and we describe to each other, okay, are you in this room? Okay. And then we can hear the other person, like if the alien attacks them, we hear them screaming. We're like, oh, I guess it got you, Maddie. Yeah. And then so that's been pretty fun. We're going to do that on Sunday.
Nice.
That's cool.
So yeah, big stream on Sunday, but that's about it. I'm very excited to be here. And I have a pick in my hair. That was there the whole time. So I'm ready to go.
Good stuff all the way around. I mean, really, I think we just need to launch immediately. No, we can't do that because we do have to also welcome in Rob. It's good to have Zach with us. And Rob,
you don't have to, but I'll be thoroughly insulted if you don't.
Of course, I would never forget to introduce Rob into the stream. Rob's looking good. I know as we were just talking about, you've been through the ringer, my friend. This entire, I said this in general, like the last month and a half, for a variety of reasons for a lot of my friends and people that are on various things has just been difficult because of all kinds of personal reasons, because of all the health reasons, pandemic and all sorts of stuff. It's just been madness. So how are you doing in the madness, Rob, is my question.
I'm on antidepressants, so I'm great. Well, thanks for asking.
Okay.
Welcome to 2022.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now that's literally what just comes.
No, here's the thing. That's how Pez is going to get back in this game. They're just going to pop Lexapro inside of those fucking things when they sell them. And then you're just going to be good to go. Just like, you don't even need a prescription. Just show up to the CVS and go, give me some candy. And then you're basically set. I'm okay. I've had a very, like, TLDR, I've had vertigo for the last 3 months. And it's been 2020 take 2. It takes 2. I like that long. Yeah, it takes more than 2, my friend. I literally have gotten the year wrong multiple times on my own stream now, where it's like, it's 2021 too. Shit. Oh God, I don't know what is happening anymore. But yeah, I've been dealing with vertigo, which as a person who reads stuff for a living and then does the thing into putting a microphone in front of your face for hours at a day. No bueno. That's not a good thing. Don't recommend it. And so, on top of that, I've been having to do lots of different voices for the books that I'm working on. By the way, Darkside Rob, also known as Robert Austin James. I'm a voice actor and audio video producer and Twitch streamer and YouTuber of... I don't know. Check out the things that are connected to me. Some of them are good. Most of them are good. Some of them are not. I don't know. You be the judge. And so I've been doing a lot of this voice work and trying to keep a lot of voices straight and everything. And I can't even keep myself balanced. And currently I am doing a lot better. That shit is really annoying. Thankfully, it's not life-threatening. It's not super serious. All of my doctors have been very, but when you say something like that is not serious and it doesn't seem to be going away and no one can give you a pill to make you feel better for it, you kind of keep going, this is just my life now.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's just like, this is my world. It doesn't stop moving ever. Cool. But yeah, doing better, feeling better, ready to do some fun voices for y'all and entertain you beautiful folks who are here in the chat, which I see all of you. You're lovely, except you. What are you doing here?
Yeah, what are you?
I told you to never to come back here.
I told you.
Get out. No, you can stay. I'm just kidding. No, leave. No, it's fine. You can. I really
let's
mean
do it.
Get out.
Time, Planescape.
It's just
Planescape time.
Continue just solving a heating problem in my daughter's room. Be right there.
Big city.
Finish up. I'll be right back.
With all sorts of
keep talking, Rob. You're good at that.
Keep talking and Arv doesn't explode.
I finally have coffee too. Cheers, y'all.
I have been told I like to talk. I am a Twitch streamer. It kind of goes with the territory. You learn to fill the silence because silence is not golden when you have to be in front of a camera. for hours at a time.
Actually,
They're expecting you to do
hours
something.
at a time. You know what though? I was actually having this conversation with one of my GMs tonight. Let's get real. Silence is okay, everybody. Having to take a moment, even in the entertainment industry, to be like, I need to look that up. Or like, I don't know, give me 30 seconds to think about this crazy chaotic bullshit that you just put at my table. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's okay. It's okay to just have a moment of silence. In fact, it can be quite enlightening.
I agree.
Sure. I agree
made
with you.
A video about silence, actually. There was a moment in a Critical Role episode a while ago where I noticed that Matt Mercer, the GM, took a rather pointed moment of silence that like brought the entire table in. So I made a video about it. That was a while ago.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you know what? Take a moment of silence right now. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't.
Everybody shut up.
Just shut the fuck up.
Exactly. I think what's weird about, so it's a two-pronged thing for me. It's, you know, that old adage of like the strongest part of acting is listening, but also the best part of improv is giving something back out so that other people have to respond off of it. Mm-hmm. The thing that's weird about Twitch streaming is that in my opinion, and this is not something that everybody and even a lot of new streamers do, is for me, the two-way street of the interaction of it, I like, but I've also cultivated a place in my stream and in networks of streams that I do other stuff with of trying to have a group of people that sets a nice base for what the stream is going to do so that, yes, I can talk and come up with things to say and try to be entertaining, but also that I'm playing off what the chat is doing and the chat's doing it vice versa. But I always have to remind myself that it's, you know, again, I don't always have to fill the space, but I feel like I need to because there's this kind of, you know,
that's the entertainer in you, Rob.
Exactly. The lights are on and something needs to be on this screen. Otherwise, why the fuck are people watching it? You know, which leads me to another point. Why the fuck are people watching this? What are you?
Yeah, chat. Tell us in chat why you like this show.
Better to?
Yeah.
Do you seriously have nothing better to do? I certainly don't.
Yeah, hype up chat so that we can pump up Arv's ego. Go.
Exactly. Yes. They're really only here for you, Dot. You know that.
What about pumping up my ego? What?
Y'all were here long before I got here.
I mean, I saw at least like 6 people leave going, no Dot Cam, I'm out of here.
No.
That ruined this for me.
Exactly. No, Dot was huge.
Actually, we've increased in numbers this week. I just want to make that.
Dot, don't ever use a camera again.
Since I announced I don't have a camera or working coffee maker and a shitty cat that chews through cables, we have increased in viewership.
Everybody turn their cameras off. We'll get 5 times the viewership.
It proves that negativity and outrage is, I can't believe
exactly.
Truly is the only source of entertainment on Twitch.
Here, Arv, start watching some MasterChef right now.
Well, I think it's good timing then that we do all that, and now we're actually going to be moving into Planescape Torment. So what a perfect uplifting. It actually is funny. I'm not going to get into this now, but I just wanted to quickly say that anyone who follows fantasy or science fiction.
Good. I'm glad you're not going to get into this now.
No, but what I wanted to mention was that there's this thing called that this podcast came up with this term called squeecore, which is representing a particular literary form in which there's just sort of this general, you know, you go and you've got them and that kind of sort of feel of books. And what it really comes down to is the podcast basically talking about a bunch of books that it doesn't like and trying to put it under one term that it will be nice and disruptive and dismissive. So, you know, anyway, I'm not a fan of the term. I think it's silly. But the reason I bring it up was that there is this sort of like there's this general sense of I guess the idea of uplifting pieces of work, let's put it that way, uplifting pieces of art and things like that. Grimdark really, I think, has taken a significant step back because we have enough grim right now. Like people are like, can we have like uplifting stuff, which a lot of people call hope punk or stuff like that. And the question is it possible to make uplifting and also nuanced work? Clearly it is. Okay, like I don't think this is a question at all. But the fact that that's being discussed about what kind of art we actually are looking to is interesting to me. And so anyway, I hope that whatever kind of games that we play, chat, that at least our communication with all of you and with each other will reflect an uplifting, fun experience, even if the game we're playing is about constant death and mortality. So, I mean, that's...
I get constantly confused by people who refer to stuff like Black Mirror and Squid Game as escapism. I'm like,
escapism from what?
Are you fucking kidding?
Yeah, it's called prophecy, not escapism.
It's like when people it's when people were watching like oh god, what's the one with the women in the red outfits?
Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale. Yeah. Well, I'm like, why?
Yeah, I mean, Handmaid's Tale.
I can't bring myself to watch that right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, the original book that was, and the thing about that is Margaret Atwood's book is from quite a while ago, but prophetic in a lot of ways. Anyway, let's get into this. It is wonderful to have all you here. I'm sorry that I had to go down and manage a quick heating situation, but it's fixed, and so now we are going to play
the
Arvocalists.
Y'all, it snowed in Atlanta 2 days ago.
I heard that.
I heard about that.
Yeah, we got snow, and it actually stuck to stuff, which was kind of fun. I mean, it's not really fun because the city just like, but
has no clue what to do.
But yeah, exactly. Everybody's like, oh, it's snowing, stay inside. Seriously, like everything just shuts down. It's like, oh, it's snowing, everything is canceled. Everything. 1 inch has hit
the ground. Let's immediately.
Everybody just go into a panic, buy all the groceries, no toilet paper, stay in your homes for 1 day's worth of snow.
In your homes. Yeah. I can imagine there was that one where that shut down Atlanta for a good period of time.
Yeah, yes. What, Snowpocalypse, yes. Hofflanta. We have all kinds of names for that year.
That year where 3 inches of snow hit the ground at once. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it was a whole legendary experience.
That's
I love that right now
that's fair enough. Rising Tides. No, it's okay. I was just going to say that for a subset of people, there's a kind of escapism in seeing people suffer more than we can imagine in our own time. Take from the fat what you will. No, I'm with you. But you know the drill, Rising Tides. You feel the same way that Configuration Queen did, I would assume, which is just to say that this whole experience of gatekeeping happiness is bizarre. Like how dare you find something that you find enjoyable and can fully enjoy without cynicism? That.
I also think it's a lot easier for some people to watch that stuff, and even though they get the references and the connections and the things that it's trying to imply or speak to, they go, well, it's still just a show. And sometimes for me, it's very hard to separate the two.
Yeah.
Y'all, take this off. I have to go put a cat in a cage. She's chewing on cables. Can you fucking believe it?
Quick! Okay, so here we are with Planescape Torment. Now, for those of you who missed the original thing of this and don't know anything about this game, this here is the nameless one. The only thing we know about him, at least when you first start playing the game, is that he wakes up in a morgue. He is in the city of Sigil, which is a very strange place where the planes basically interact and meet. And he has died on multiple occasions and been resurrected on multiple occasions. And he's met his friend here, Mort, which as you can see is a floating skull. And
hey, how you doing?
And has just escaped this place, as you can see here. And the current quest that he's dealing with is he needs to find Farid, because Farid is the directions tattooed on his back tell him to go find Farid. Doesn't even know where to start looking. Second, he has to find his missing journal, which I believe he did find. And then, did he? Or did he? No, he did not. So we still have the journal. The missing journal has more information. And then last thing is to find Craddock for Bane the Sender that's delivering a message. And Bane said the person I need to deliver the message to is named Craddock, who's said to be an overseer in a marketplace somewhere in the Hive. The only description Bane could give me of Craddock was that he was a giant, stern-looking man. I'll keep my eye out for him. So that's what we've got so far. As for anything else, is it Mort or Morte? I've actually heard both. I mean, the French is Mort. I don't know if they think the Italian might be different, so that's... Oh my goodness, Sticker Glue with a 15-month streak. Thank you, Sticker Glue, so much. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. And good turnout.
I think it's Mort.
So
I definitely think it's Mort.
So I kind of thought it was
I think it's Mort, especially because of the accent.
Mort.
Mort. So yeah, so that's where we're at. So
it's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
So as we talk to Dabus, another Dabus, Fleece. This sounds like someone with Zach's name on it.
Yes.
Oh, I see we have someone who's about to try to attack us. We'll deal with that in a minute.
Oh.
So, you see a man who's
yeah.
looking around at the buildings with some confusion. He looks lost and is mumbling to himself. Greetings. The man looks relieved.
At last! I beg your indulgence, good sir. Don't mind the combat music. I seem to have gotten turned
really
around
loud.
in this maze of streets. Ha ha! I'm afraid this area of the city is somewhat...
Glances around apprehensively. Or, yeah, you're supposed to read.
Yeah, he glances around apprehensively.
Sorry, I'm really excited.
It's okay.
This area of the city is somewhat dangerous, unknown to me. The residents seem most unwilling to extend aid to a visitor.
He looks at you hopefully.
Could I prevail upon you to help me, perchance?
Well, at the moment I can't hear you because the combat music is blasting
Did you want
over
us to
your
read the Did you want us to read the narration?
voice. No, because I think you're going to get enough voices through there.
Okay.
So I think
I
that's
can't remember
okay.
how we did it last time.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
that was
either.
my
I
mistake.
thinking that.
So as soon as I get through this chat, I will address the combat music, which is way too loud. Okay.
You
Let's
could always
see.
just say, I don't have the time to help you right now, and then
Farewell.
talk to
Yeah,
him
but
again.
But then he might be like, go to hell and leave forever. Certainly. Where are you trying to go?
I seek the house of my Aunt Margaret. She is reported to dwell in a house close to the mortuary, but the street layout seems to have changed since my last visit. Do you know of the house of which I speak?
I'm afraid that I've never heard of such a place.
Ah,
Oh, sorry. The man frowns in disappointment.
I suppose it would have been too much good fortune to hope that you would know of such a place. Well, I thank you for your time, good sir. It is most welcome in these streets. And watch out behind you, oh my
Farewell,
God!
please. I know exactly. Hive Thug! Take that, Hive Thug.
You're getting beat up a little bit.
I know.
Best be careful. Mort's fighting them for you.
Come on, Mort. Oh!
Nice.
Die.
What the heck? All right, good.
There's
That's the end of
chaos
that.
on the streets of this place. Look at this.
I know, the whole thing, and neither are just like, excuse me.
And nobody
pardon me,"
cares.
You know?
It's just another day in this armpit of a town.
I like how there's a button in the middle of the menu that says movies. And what if it's like, you know, The Avengers is on there?
Yeah,
you know, it's
exactly.
just any movie you want. Like Netflix is built into Planescape Torment.
This should be better, Chad. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I should actually.
sounds
I
better
can
to
ask
me.
you all now too because you can
Yeah,
actually hear it. Okay.
Can you hear us?
Okay, you're gonna take.
That is
3
much better,
copper commons.
FYI.
Okay. Cool. All right, let's
Stack
get
of-
that.
Coins reminds me of RuneScape.
Yeah. Wow. And then dirty rat charm. What is it? Yo, you dirty rat. Why
A
can't I
dirty
use this?
rat charm. Gimme.
Why am I not allowed to? It's not letting me pick up the dirty rat charm.
delicious.
Oh, because my inventory is completely full. That's why. Okay.
You literally
That'll
have an
do it
item
every
called
time.
Dirty
junk.
rat charms.
You
Thought I
dirty
saw
rat.
that item
You
called
dirty
junk.
rat.
Time to put some things
there
in
you
quick
go.
weapons, people.
That's a big hammer. There you go.
Yeah, I just put a bunch of stuff. There we go. Oh, that sweet, sweet sound of the Infinity
Mhm.
Engine where you pick something out of a weapon and then... It's
Mhm.
so
Love,
satisfying. All right.
love the Foley.
So, a dirty rat tail charm, usable only by thieves. It's particularly filthy, smells faintly of vomit. Stiff like a wire, can be bent into different shapes. It would almost make a great lockpick, except it's too thick. When this rank charm is consumed, the user temporarily becomes much stealthier and shiftier, giving them a greater chance of success with hiding in shadows and picking pockets. People viewing the charmed individual will detect something unsavory about him, however, reducing first impressions accordingly. This unsavoriness will last only as long as the charm is in effect. I see.
That's cool.
It is. I wonder if I can... I guess I don't have to right now.
Mort, he's in front of a green screen.
Yeah. Can you transfer items to Mort? Like, can he?
I'm going to see if I can... Yeah, if I can...
Where do you think he's storing them?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to see if I
holding,
can get
is
him
he holding
bandage.
a grocery
To
shopping bag
go in
with
the
his
front
mouth?
or the back.
I mean, he has it as a quick item, so...
Just open up my skull cap. I got a trunk in there.
There's a cavity.
Let's see. Select.
That's a pretty big cavity.
Somehow the skull just healed himself. I don't have the faintest idea how that works,
Macavity. Sorry.
but it's a magic skull of holding. Yeah, maybe Lone Wolf. All right. So we did that. Great job, everybody.
I'm gone.
All right. Oh yeah,
I'm here.
Sorry,
I've left.
That's what I do all the time now.
I'm back.
I'm out.
What is that thing?
Who is that dude? Ooh, a black Abishai.
Oh wow.
He's your next. He's your next fight.
A little bit of D&D lore. Abishai were just added as a part of one of the recent books. Must have been Tasha's, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
This black-scaled reptile towers to a height of 8 feet, which apparently makes him as tall as me. I guess I'm 8 feet, according to the computer. Its great height, however, is offset by its thick and thin snake-like frame. A long, prehensile tail drags behind it. Its leathery wings are hooked behind its back. A strong, vinegary smell emanates from the creature, as well as a certain amount of heat. It seems to be ignoring you. Greetings! Rob, you're Mort?
Whoa, Chief.
Mort cuts in before you can speak to the creature.
Bar that. You don't want to be rattling your bone. Box. With any fiend on the street. Leave be.
I wanted to ask it some questions.
No, you don't.
Mort glances at the creature, then turns back to you and lowers his voice to a whisper.
They're touchy. Let's just go.
I'll risk it. This black scale. Okay, greetings! The creature slowly turns its head down to look at you. Its scaled forehead wrinkles into a frown, then it opens its mouth, giving a low, rasping hiss. You notice that the heat radiating from the creature begins to rise. This is a terrible idea. I would speak with you for a moment. The creature opens its mouth, displaying a row of blackened fangs. Fire begins to dance around the shadows and arms of the creature as it gives a long, low hiss. Obviously, we hiss back.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I told you, it's your next enemy.
Wow.
And
That went well.
Yep. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream.
I'm just going to reload that. That was, okay. Good work, everybody.
Good choices made all around, everybody.
All around.
I thought by hissing it'd be like, I respect your strength, but instead it was I respect your death.
Yeah, instead it was, I respect your strength, therefore you must die.
Therefore, die. Yeah.
I'm gone.
I am threatened.
What, Arv, what part of did you not understand?
I thought the accent was on the instead
I
of the
thought that was the
okay.
mating call.
That's
yeah. Exactly.
Did I misread the room?
Is that the guy you talked to last time?
Did we talk to one ear? I think I will.
I would like to have you for dinner.
You see a shady-looking fellow, who will be played by Dot here, standing before
yes.
you, picking his teeth with what appears to be a tiny metal fork. His chest is covered by patchwork armor adorned with large spikes, and a long knife hangs at his side. You notice he is missing his right ear.
That's funny. I saw Arv. Never mind. I saw Arv doing that just the other day. There, whatever.
Oh,
moving on.
wow. He regards you coolly from the shadows as if sizing you up. I had some... wow. Here's the... I want to get into a fight with you.
Wow.
Greetings. What's the matter? Your other ear not working?
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
How
Wow,
about
so
that?
sensitive.
I had some questions for you. The one of your tieflings scowls at you threatening.
Pike off, boik. Or have your guts for garters.
If it's garters you're after, I just happen to have a pair. You apostrophe our mother. You our mother left them in my bed last night.
You, our mother, left him in my bed.
Yes, sure. Do have a sharp tongue, boik. I think I'll cut it out and feed it to ya, huh?
He lunges at you, his knife leading the way. I must defend myself against one
You
ear.
are really bad at making friends, Arv.
Yes, you are.
This is
Zaboom.
going well.
I'm hurt.
I'm hurt. Yes, I noticed. I'm hurt.
He's saying that to you, Arv, specifically. Whoa, Mort just... Yeah, I saw that, Mort. Mort just bit him for 10 minutes.
Why do you not know how to ask people questions?
Okay. Then I would like you
Chumma,
to...
do you always ask questions with your axe?
All right.
Wait. No, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to use this bandage.
I shall stun you with my back.
Wait, I want...
why
Why is
isn't
this
it-
not working? I want to do this, and I want to do bandage, and I want
Maybe
to do this.
because you're moving.
I guess, but then... Oh,
There you
okay. Now, we're going to do that again. Once again, second verse, same as the first. That was this. And
Ah, the future of gaming.
Yeah, Mort
Yeah.
meanwhile taking care of business.
Nice. Congratulations. You've committed murder.
What? The guy attacked me.
Openly.
Look, I get a small
Okay,
steel
okay,
fork,
fair enough,
I get
fair
a
enough.
bronze ring, and a high-quality stiletto.
Yes, gotta love these.
It's really good you asked him some questions.
Yes.
I asked you some questions in this case.
Indeed.
I have a couple high quality pairs of stilettos. I don't get to wear them anymore thanks to 2020.
Oh, no. That's really depressing, and I'm sorry to hear that.
No, you
I
can still wear
know.
them, it's just
They-
no one will see them.
I was about to say nobody gets to see me wear them.
At
How's
least
that?
your stilettos didn't chew your HDMI cable.
What you don't know is I'm wearing a pair right now.
Oh, man. Ah.
The plot she thickens.
What is the... we're all just like,
Yeah, all three of
I'm
us
sitting
are-
in pajama pants
all
and
three
a
of us are
orange
like,
pair of
"Oh."
stilettos.
I can make up any story I want. You can't
This is where my
see.
day has gone after cats.
the rising tides, the very fact that every person you talk to is eager to get in a fight seems like a good reason to never speak to another soul. I know.
Yeah.
I really have to, have to see if I can do better
Our
at that.
vocalists choose your own adventure, Stilettos edition.
Really, like, just-
Hey, it's better than Ace Attorney panties.
I don't know. Well, no, you're probably right across the board there.
All right, let's see.
Harlot.
Just need a vending machine. That's all.
I do not want to make Dot do the harlot. I'm like, well,
Yeah, make one of us do.
Oh,
that.
make me do it. Make me.
we've also got a collector. But
Yeah.
I know about those. Those are the actual. There's harlots all over the place. There's just nothing but harlots.
Yeah, pick one.
Harlots all the way down.
I'll be the harlotist
Uh-oh.
harlot.
First of all, we have to deal with these hive thugs, and then harlot.
Oh, not a hive thug. Why are
Watch
they a
out.
hive?
Harlot
They share
just
a
drew a
hive
knife
mind?
too. She's going to come up behind you.
Right?
That's it.
I'm hurt.
I am hurt. And I have
Damn,
no
I'm
bandages.
hurt.
That's gonna be it.
Aw, man.
Oh, I took an arrow to the knee.
Picking too many fights.
I gotta reload. Yeah, this game
I'm
is
really bad at
definitely-
asking questions.
That one, I just was standing there and they got angry at me.
They wanted to ask you a few
It's
questions.
just I could ask you some questions. I heard you attacked one ear and he's the best. Okay.
Exactly.
Let me talk to this harlot.
I hear you like to eat hammer.
You see a tired-looking woman dressed in stilettos and pajamas. No, dressed in a tight leather bodice and leggings. The odor of
And
cheap
pajama pants,
of
yeah.
cheap perfume, and she's has a kitten that seems to be gnawing her ear. Surrounds
to
her
play
like a
this
cloud,
role.
and her face is covered. It's escapism. Her face is covered. It's stiletto core. Her face is covered with a mask of crude makeup. She smiles as she sees you.
Why don't you stay and chat with me a bit, love?
Yep, that's it.
Greetings.
Sign me up. Let's go.
The woman looks coyly at you.
Now you look a tad be a blood who's lost something. Mayhap I help you find it, cuter cutter? Cutter. Not cuter. He's not cute.
He's not too much cuter.
He's not cute. He's just a cutter.
She smiles slightly. Oh?
Oh.
What good? Oh,
No, that's more.
not me.
Sorry, just a second. Excuse me, what good fortune? What good fortune? We probably lost what we were looking for back at your kip, miss.
Actually, I'm missing a journal. Oh, sorry. She seems confused. As do I.
What are ye about?
I'm not missing any.
I'm a pirate now. What are ye about?
Arr, what are you about?
What are you about?
And surprisingly enough, I'm really about stilettos, despite the fact that I have no feet.
I'm
You're
not
in the
missing
right neighborhood,
anything,
kid.
but I did have some questions. The woman frowns.
I'm not a tout.
She frowns, then rubs two fingers together.
Unless you've got some jink to pay for my time.
I could pay you. How much?
For a handsome basher like your suckers.
Look, lady, if you can't even keep a straight face long enough to ask me for money, I mean, we're not.
I'm sorry, I had something caught in my throat. You're a handsome basher like yourself.
Sorry, you got to smoke.
I mean, she gives a wide smile,
I
revealing
need a
a row of
Virginia Slim.
dirty.
3 coppers will be enough to loosen my tongue.
Whoa.
She licks her lips, then frowns.
Other questions of a deeper chattel cost you more, though.
Thank you very much, Shadowed Mage, for the cheer. I hate being human. I want to be a wolf. The emotion wolf's got to champ and a woo. All right, I gotta fix this and put this in a different spot. Now it's over in the
Damn
right
it, Shadow, you broke the stream again.
Okay, no, it was my bad. Okay, good. Fixed. All right, sounds fair. Here's 3 commons.
Hey then,
She slips the jink into her palm where it promptly vanishes.
now,
There were some things I wanted to know.
ask your questions, love.
Can you tell me
Then
about...
recite the alphabet backwards.
Can you tell me about this city, random harlot? Her eyes narrow suspiciously.
The city? What about it?
We're off to a bad start if I ask the question, the city, and she's like, what's with these specific questions, Burke?
It wasn't part of the deal.
Which one do you want to know about?
New York, Chicago? What do you... All right. What is it?
What? Sigil, you mean?
She shrugs, looks around.
It's the city beneath your feet and rising t'other side of ye.
She smiles.
Makes visitors' stomachs gallop. It does.
Where exactly is Sigil?
Center of the plains, they're told. If you believe that wash.
Why is it wash? She smirks.
Well, now, love. According to the graybeards and scholars and governors and all the rest of them there raffling white men brain boxes, they say the plains go on forever.
She taps her head.
Who's to say where the center is?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
like the gray?
Shadowed. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm glad you're here then. Hopefully we can help you focus on something much better. The deeply disturbing city of Sigil where harlots answer questions about cities. I had some other questions.
All right, ask your questions, love.
Can you tell me what's of interest around here?
Me? No.
She puts her hands on her hips and pouts.
Depends
Well, we have a
on-
lovely museum at the center
Do
of
you
town.
like stilettos? Depends on what your interest, Cutter.
I'm looking for work.
You're asking me. What you think of becoming one of the sisterhood, are you?
Actually.
She nearly... The screeching is similar to a drunken harpy. No, I was waiting to see the drunken harpy screeching.
There it is.
Eventually, the gales of laughter subside, and she takes a deep breath.
You're a rich man, are you?
Oh, this is great. This is going super well. What else is around here of interest? Oh, wait, I already asked this question. Never mind that. I have some other questions. Okay.
Well, we have a Dunkin' Donuts now.
What can you tell me about the Lady of Pain? She spits and makes a half circle around her heart.
That bladed witch. Oh, high and mighty. Mistress of all this city, floating and silent. She kills anyone in her shadow. She tends the city, aye?
She hisses.
And leaves the living things in it to rot.
Charming. I'm looking for someone named Farid.
Farid. Now that's one of the greater darks, love. If ye be wanting to know about that blood, that'll be thrice the coppers of a normal asking.
What? So far, all I've gotten for my 3 coppers is you telling me to consult the local map. All right. I don't have enough for
Maybe
that.
that should tell you.
How about a journal? I'm looking for a journal.
No idea where you'd find such a thing, love. You might look elsewhere.
She smiles suggestively.
I know some places you might start.
I had some other
Hint.
questions.
I swiped right.
Do you want to build a snowman? All right, actually, never mind. Farewell.
Yes. Bye.
Wait, what? Did you see the...
Oh, your loss. No, I did not see that. Your loss. When you get tired of losing things and need to find some things, love, you come see me.
I'll keep that in mind. Farewell. Oh, man. Wow.
Oh, sorry. Chief, can you spot me some jink? It's, been a long time. It is.
I'm not even going to ask how you intend to accomplish this. Oh, sorry, the woman breaks in.
It's twice the cost for your member or other degenerates.
Mimmer?
Mim is a talking encyclopedia. That's me, Chief.
I am so tempted to be like, I'm probably saving you from dying twice. Wow. No, I think I won't do that. I'll just say, let's get out of here. Farewell, miss. All right. So now we're going to
Thanks for nothing. Appreciate you.
Before the fight. I'm out of money.
This encyclopedia is staying closed.
You know what, though? We'll get you some money by fighting this hive thug. Oh. Wait.
Hey,
he has
would you like to speak to my hammer?
I wasn't going to fight you at all. Greetings. The man looks at you for a moment, grunts, raises his hand, revealing a wicked dagger, smiles evilly, begins trolling and menacing. All right, take this hammer!
I'm hurt.
Hey, Mort. Mort. Eyes front,
What?
big guy. Hey,
Hey, maybe if you hadn't been so stingy, I'd help you out.
Oh, man. The Avishai blocked him. I'm going to need to get more health.
Do you even have armor?
Nope.
Like, you're just a guy in rags picking fights with people.
I was trying not to. All these people got into fights with me.
You ran up to him.
Here we go. Here's the guy that we need, Zach. His name is Mar. Your first impression of Mar is that he needs a long bath, preferably away from any creature that has any sense of smell. You can almost see the stench waft from his body in sinister yellow tendrils. He motions towards you frantically in an effort to get you to come over and talk to him. Okay, I will approach him and hear what he has to say. A look of excitement crosses his face as you approach.
Thank you for stopping. My name is Mar. I have a favor to ask of you.
I'm listening.
Oh, there I go. 'Tis a matter of life or death. I must be delivering this here box, or it'd be in my head for sure. 'Tis my bad luck that I twisted me leg something fierce. So will you help me out by delivering this here box for me?
I'll deliver the box for you.
Oh, how nice.
Mars slowly takes out a small box within the recesses of his ragged clothing. In before this is the source of the stench. For the briefest of moments, you see a look of regret cross his face. Then it is gone as he looks at you and hands you the box. A slight shimmer surrounds the box as both you and Mar touch it. A sigh of relief is heard as Mar releases the box into your care. Yeah. What now?
This be needing to be delivered to Quatra. He can usually be found somewheres down in the southeastern section of the hive. Oh, unless you try to say I didn't warn you, whatever happens, don't open the box. All right? And don't leave the hive with the box. Now be off with you.
I'll be back when I deliver the box. Farewell. Updated my journal. Okay.
What are those things on the ground?
They look like, where's it? Vines with black leaves.
I'm gone.
They look like
I'm gone.
scarabs or something, or
Bugs.
bugs of some kind, yeah. Gonna save this.
All right.
And I'm trying to get enough money that I can actually survive in a fight. All right. And here we are. Oh, gosh. A hive thug.
Yeah.
Can I talk to you
Well, it's
without you
just
attacking me? Oh, we already did this. Pass on by. You're going to attack me.
Done.
I already know. Black Abishai.
Okay.
Let's see.
Done.
Oh, wait. Who's that guy? That guy. Oh, no. He's a... This guy. Damn it. I knew he was going to attack me. Oh, man. All right. This loud, grimy fellow saunters up to you and gives a quick bow. Okay, Rob. This
Rob
guy
just
is like
stepped
a...
away.
Oh, he stepped away? In that
Yeah.
case, Dot.
Okay.
Grimy fellow saunters up to you, gives a quick bow. I think this guy is basically a living navigator, a living map, basically.
Interesting. Okay. Greetings, Cutter. Only a single copper for me services as a tout. What can I lead ye to?
Well, what's a tout? The man raises an eyebrow, then shrugs.
A guide, Cutter. Points out what she needs to find round these parts of the hive.
All right, here's a copper piece. Man palms the coin and bows.
This parts of the hive has gates leading east, north, and southwest. Locations of note include the flop house, where a weary blood can get some
That
rest.
sounds pretty good. I think we need that. Where's the flop house?
Right in the middle of this here part of the hive, Cutter. A long, narrow building whose doors face southeast. Good place to call Kip for a night if you're feeling beat.
Okay, where's the north gate lead?
Leads to your rag picker square, Cutter.
where all the collectors call Kip.
All right, where's the East Gate lead?
To another part of the hive, Cutter. The mortuary's there, and the Gathering Dust Bar too, where the dustmen like to drink. There's a mausoleum and the big Dustman's Memorial there as well.
Where's the Southwest Gate lead?
Just another part of the hive, Cutter. The Office for Vermin and Disease Control is there, and a large market.
Okay, so we'll want to go southwest after we get some rest, but first I have to kill this dude who's attacking us for no reason. Nice. Haha. That's what happens when you try to attack me when I'm trying to have a conversation with somebody.
Nicely done.
Assert myself in the streets.
Really? Yeah, exactly. I'm just setting the the tone for the way that things work. Okay. Copper earring. Does that provide me anything?
Nothing but style.
It looks like it was the victim of an eager lover or something that enjoys eating metal, for it is bent on one side and bears teeth marks. All right, well. Got an earring now. Okay. So we need to go to this flop house. Oh, and we're right next to it, actually. This is the flop house.
The floppy.
Let's do it.
Floppy jalopy.
Wow, what the hell is that? Okay, Rob, I'm going to have you play this, what looks like a centaur, but it's called Borear. You see the tall figure of a creature standing before you. The lower portion of its body resembles that of a goat. However, just above its powerful forelegs, its shape takes on a more human appearance with a man's torso, arms, and head, all of which are covered in polished armor. The creature's eyes are closed and it appears to be sleeping. Greetings. Creature snorts briefly, but its eyes remain shut. Apparently, it's not a light sleeper. Good snoring. Excellent work. You can be Nestor instead, Rob. You see an aging man in soiled and tattered clothes frantically pacing in the corner. His shock
I've gone down in the world.
His shock of filthy white hair sticks out in every direction, and his face, encrusted with dirt and streaks of dried blood, is covered in gray stubble. Every few seconds he stops pacing and flails about suddenly, muttering and cursing as if assaulted by some unseen foe. He doesn't seem to notice your approach. Greetings. At the sound of your voice, the old loon whirls about to face you, his wide staring eyes bulging in their sockets. He regards you for a brief moment, then returns to his raving.
No! It's not you!
Who are you talking to? The old man seems oblivious to your presence.
You'll come. You'll come. And old Nestor will be waiting.
Waiting? Who are you waiting for?
Waiting.
He suddenly plops down on the floor as if overcome by exhaustion.
Long have I waited. Waiting.
Takes a deep breath and springs back to his feet.
Wait forever I have to. You hear me?
Are you all right?
Yes, no.
Nestor's face turns beet red and his whole body shakes in protest.
My fork! Can't leave without my fork! Fuck you! Fork.
Your fork?
No, fork you! Fork? Fork. Can't go home without my fork.
Nestor's frenzy reaches a violent crescendo. He begins hopping up and down maniacally, then suddenly stops, lowers his head, and runs headlong into a large wooden cupboard that stands against the back wall of the flophouse. The force of the impact knocks the old man flat on his back. After a few seconds, he stands back up, a dazed expression on his face.
Oh, Sterling! Can't go home without my fork.
Stolen, you say?
Oh,
who took your fork? Nestor stares at you for a long moment. Baggins! Then begins rummaging through the pockets of his filthy tunic. After a few seconds, he produces what appears to be a dismembered ear. I've got your situation solved, my good man. I have already killed one ear. Judging by the stench and color of the ear, you'd wager the old loon has been toting it around in his pocket for some time.
Oh my! What if it is that guy's ear?
It's gotta be.
You have my fork.
Don't you? Don't you?
He holds the ear close as if speaking to it.
Bring back my fork.
Maybe I can help you.
Wait. Waiting.
He shakes the ear violently as he shouts into it.
Until you bring it back. Then I can go home.
Is this the fork you speak of? He hastily snatches up the fork.
My fork? My fork! Fork!
He hops up and down excitedly, waving the fork back and forth in an elaborate pattern above his head, as if he were performing some sort of ritual.
Now I can go home. Farewell!
Farewell, Nestor. Nestor turns to leave, then, as if struck with some afterthought, he turns back around and hands you a scrap of something soft and rubbery, the severed ear. Upon closer examination, you notice that there is an earring still dangling from it.
Updated my journal.
Ooh, experience 500. I think we might have leveled up. Oh, he just
he vanishes into
portaled
a
out.
portal.
What? Hello. I almost opened that ornate box. This is
the
one
fork
ear's
was a
earring.
port key.
Small earring is made from polished obsidian. Despite the smoothness of its surface, it reflects no light whatsoever. Can I identify it? I don't have a spell or a scroll. I have to identify this thing. All right. So we're going to have to identify it, and we're going to have to do that by getting a scroll. But we did good work today. Today
And
was
none of that woke up the goat man.
Apparently not. I'm going to have to be Van Going. Really, Triffid? He needs an ear to conduct his fork symphony. Okay. What's on this shelf? We have nothing on this shelf.
All right.
So the barrier is Soltar. But we do have one of these people has got to be Arlo. So this will be Zach, and the next one up is going to be Dot. So Arlo, Zach, is apparently a short, balding man standing in what serves as the foyer to this ramshackle flophouse. His bushy brows are furrowed in concentration as he picks at what appear to be scabs on his large, bulbous nose. Greetings. Man doesn't bother to look up. Instead, he continues to stare cross-eyed down at his nose.
Yeah, what do you want?
I had some questions.
Ain't that nice?
He flashes you a sarcastic yellow-toothed smile.
I'm sure you'll find your answer someday. But I've got me a business to run. So if you don't want a bed, I suggest you pike off.
I see. Can I have a bed then?
It'll cost you 5 coppers.
He wipes his dirty hand on the front of his even dirtier shirt, then thrusts it towards you, palm up. Sorry, I don't have 5 coppers right now. Maybe some other time. Farewell. I used that up so I could find how to go to the flophouse, which was literally directly to the north of where I was when I gave that person my money. So it was great times. I need to remember how I can highlight things in the world. I don't remember what that is.
Is it tab?
It's not tab. It's not caps lock. Let me check the key bindings because that's kind of important. Highlight. Maybe I can't. I know there's a way to do that. He was probably a wise mage. He found that fork and took him someplace special. Probably right.
Well, yeah, what game was it? I know that's a thing in Divinity, Original Sin, or was it Pillars?
It's usually like tab. It's usually tab, left alt. No, I guess not. So just oh, there we go.
I'll look it up.
Excuse me, Mort. Mort, get out of the way. Mort. All right, get over here, Mort. So I can open this thing up.
I go where I want to, okay, Cutter?
Done.
Well, Mort actually has landed some serious critical hits so far. All right, so there's the flop house. We can't do anything with it yet, though, because we can't afford
I just headbutt everything till it stops moving.
All right.
My guy does heal briefly. Who's this guy? Maholt. Did we talk to this guy? I feel like we talked to one of the dustmen when we first came into the hive.
He did. I don't remember if it was him though.
Yeah, we did, because he actually says that we've talked to him before.
Yeah, and I see the stairs are right there. I think this was the guy we talked to.
Okay.
You sort of circled around now.
Yep. All right, so we might as well go to the southwestern portion of the hive to get the market. And maybe we can sell some stuff while we're there.
I'm gone.
Try pressing
I'm
Alt
gone.
or Control as well.
Yeah, I tried
Although
Alt and
you need to
Control.
be in an area where there are items, I guess. But,
All right.
yeah.
This is also not... Oh, crap. Okay. Don't attack me, don't attack me,
I'm
don't attack
gone.
me.
I'm gone.
Okay. Here we are in the hive, and somewhere here has got to be the market.
You got to deliver that box, right?
Yeah, and also sell some stuff, get some money, identify the earring.
All right.
These Dabuses are reminding me of the Keepers
right.
in Mass Effect.
Yep.
Done. Done.
Done. Done. All right, and this right here is a hive dwelling.
Dun 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 dun.
Braskin's Kip.
All right. I'm gone. I'm gone.
Oh, crap.
Uh-oh.
Damn it.
I'm hurt.
Boy, you just really like to pick a fight, don't you?
That'd be it.
Yep.
Ah,
Yep.
great.
Yep.
I hope he doesn't lose his memory. I'm sick of dragging your corpse back here with my teeth.
All right, that's fine.
All right.
That's
All
fine.
right.
We are going to... This time we're going to go down there, but we are going to...
So wait, could you just continue from there?
I mean,
if
you
it's just a
could-
resurrection?
You could, yeah, because it doesn't... You don't really...
That's a long way to run back.
It's yeah, it's a long run back, yeah.
All right.
I'm just trying to basically get to the
All
market. Until we get some kind of protection against these things.
All right.
It's going to be... Even a third party member,
All right.
like, you know? Collector, Hive Dweller. And we have here Braskin's Kip. That seems potentially promising. Run. No one saw anything. Creedon. All right, Creedon.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God. Here we are. This foul-looking man is quick to notice he's caught your attention. In moments, he's upon you, hawking his wares. He carries a long wooden pole. Dozens of skinned and cooked rats dangle from it. As he speaks, he gestures to them with a broad, filth-encrusted hand, smiling a yellow, snaggle-toothed grin all the while. Dot, who is playing Creedon.
Oi, Gutter, how you doing there? What sort of delicious ratsies is ye interested in this fine day?
Examine the ratsies. I can't examine them because it's not letting me... Oh. Examine the ratsies. Each rat has been skinned and gutted, their feet and tails removed. It's charming. They dangle from the pole by hooks punched through their necks. As you examine the various manners in which they've been prepared, you realize their heads are slightly misshapen. A bulbous knot of bone protrudes from each cranium, covered in whorls that give it the appearance of brain tissue. Those are strange-looking rats.
Aye, ye's got a keen eye there, Cutter. All I sell is brain vermin. I do. I'm sure you'll find they've got a much richer flavour than your usual rat. Quite nice, really.
He proffers them to you once more, waving the pole before your face enticingly. The rats sway to and fro, hooked like tiny sides of beef. Brain vermin?
Aye, Cutter. Brain vermin. Foul creatures they are. Now ye normal rats, they just eat stored goods and multiply, spreading disease and all that. A nuisance, really, no more. Your cranium rat, though, brain vermin, what I go after, they're just trouble. When ye get more than a handful of little pickers together, they start to get smart on ye, something real smart.
They become more intelligent?
Sure, as I'm standing here before ye, they do. I ran across any more than 2 scores of them, I'd flee from a case like that.
He snaps to emphasize the point.
I would. You get that many of them in a pack, why they get smart as man they do.
Go on. You've always wanted to eat educated rat. Go on.
Here's my best advice for you, Getter. If you're bent on catching brain vermin, stick to small packs, a dozen or so at most. But I'll tell you hushed tone.
He steps close, his breath fetid in your face, and speaks in a hushed tone.
Oh, that's just kidding. I skipped your line. I'm sorry. Ye run into more than that. More than a couple dozen. He run like ye in the shadows of the lady.
He backs away from you again. Well, why? What is there to fear?
Sorcery, Cutter. Sorcery. He gets enough of those little fiends in a space. They gain all sorts of odd powers. Makes a basher's brains pour out its ears. They will. Downright frightening. Just wrong, I tell ye. That's why Sigil's so eager to be rid of them. The bounty and all.
I was just thinking about the amazing Maurice and his educated rodents, Triffid. I read that to my daughter like a year and a half, 2 years ago. Sigil?
Hi. Sigil. The cage. What were you looking to know, Cutter?
Why do you call it the cage? He shakes his head and laughs, causing the dead vermin on his rat pole to wriggle about.
You see, Cutter, it's on account of all the doors. Some folks call Sigil the city of doors. Magical doors they are, and everywhere, too. They lead to anywhere. And I mean, anywhere. But here's the trick of it all. They're all locked. So it's more caged than anything else. You can only come and go if you have the right key.
Tell me about these doors and keys. The rat catcher peers quizzically at Mort, who floats beside you.
I kinda think he'd just ask your mama for Doc like that, he would.
Mort seems taken aback as all eyes fall on him.
What? What?
You get the impression that had he lips, he'd be whistling innocently. Do you have an explanation, Mort?
Well, I say we hear this man out. Yeah?
Mort turns and stares hard at the rat catcher. No, let's hear what you have to say, Mort.
Oh, come on, Chief. Why would I hold out on you? I've told you everything useful I know. Let's just get this Burke's take on the whole thing.
That's very true, Resenthal. Very well. The rat catcher, staring at you both in confusion and scratching his head, suddenly realizes he's the focus of attention once more. He shakes off the puzzled expression and recomposes himself.
Hey-ho, he wants all sorts of chance, ye do. I'll give ye the shorts of it all. The cage is full of doors. These doors are everywhere, all throughout the city of Sigil, but you can't see them, not unless you have the right key. Each door has its own key, and each key is different. One key might be a real key, brass and all, right? But another could be, say, a cooked rat, or a little jig he does in front of a door. Once you have the right key, you step on through and go to wherever that door takes you.
This guy gave me more information than the harlot for 3 times the price. How would you know where a door leads? He frowns, mulling the answer over in his head.
Chances are, if ye knew the key, ye'd know where the door leads already. If ye opened one accidentally, say ye just have to be careful, you would. You could try sticking a head in and taking a peek. But some doors will suck you right in. You could end up in all manner of foul places, gotta mark my words.
When is a door not a door? How do you know what key opens what door? He shrugs, bobbing the rat pole and
when
setting
it's a window.
Vermin jangling about once more.
You'd have to ask the right people. People who knows the dark about that sort of thing, I suppose. See, some doors stay still and some move. It'll drive a blood blarmy trying to keep track of them all. I don't use doors much myself, so I won't be much help to you. In fact, I just bust through a wall like the Kool-Aid man.
So,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah. Who are you?
What, me?
I told you I'm the Kool-Aid man.
Yes. Well, I'm Creedon, sometimes called Creed, the butcher of rats.
Sometimes called Creed. With arms wide open. He smiles grandiosely, exposing ill-matched rows of yellowed, broken, and crooked teeth. You certainly seem friendlier than most around here.
Well,
Will you
Cutter.
take me higher?
Well, Cutter, I try. It's not my business, I think. Most folks around here are very and downright unfriendly lot, but I want every Cutter to know that Creedon's always got a warm smile and a popping up fresh-cooked rapsies for them all.
See, this is what he winks at you. This is exactly what it is, chat. In Sigil, the best person is the guy who cuts brain vermin rats for a living. Like, that's the nicest dude.
Yep.
I should have done the Golden Sun prologue with
He's
the
just a
Arvocalists.
simple man, really.
He is. I wanted to speak with you about rats. Oh, sorry. His breath is stale and reeks of onions.
Can't forget it, Arv.
Bit of an expert in that field, I am. What's your question, Cutter?
Where do you get all those rats?
What, these?
No, the other rats. He jiggles the pole, causing the skin rats to bounce about in a macabre little jig.
I catch 'em myself. I do. In cellars and alleyways and alive.
I see. Tell me about this hive.
My very own home and place of business. What were you looking to find out, Cutter?
This guy's better than combination Google search. Do you know why it's called the hive? Ratcatcher scratches at his chin, his fingers leaving oily smudges behind.
Number of stories about that there are. As I understand it, there's a cluster building somewhere. A tangled mess of stacks and ruins. It serves as a gathering ground for all sorts. It was called the Arv, and so that's where these slums, this old ward, takes their name from.
A gathering ground for whom? The man's friendly demeanor turns into a scowl.
Troublemakers, Cutter. Even if you... Sorry, choked on myself.
Even if you could, yeah.
Even if you could find the place, I'd recommend you stay away from there, I would. That's all I'll say about it.
He wipes his nose with a sense of finality, the scowl now gone. I understand. What's of interest around here?
I'm not sure what you're interested in, Cutter. Let me know, and mayhap Old Creek can put you in the right direction.
All right, I'm looking for work.
Not much work in Hive, really. Most folks just busy themselves with getting food and staying alive. You could cover debtors, like the collectors, or you could brain vermin for bounty.
Okay, people pay for dead rats?
That's right, Cutter. There's a Burke in the Office of Vermin and Disease Control named Malort. Pays a bounty on them. A copper head, tail, it is. But they gots to be brain vermin, they do, not just ordinary rats.
Them's good eats.
Tell me more about this Lort fellow.
His name's Phineas. Phineas Lort.
Of course he is.
Oh,
Thinks some sort of high up he is. But down by his rivals and stuck out in the arse end of a sigil.
Sorry,
Classic sentence.
Yeah.
That's
I gotta
it.
tell you, I'm looking right
You
at
just sort
the
of
words.
swam through those words.
I'm looking right at the words, and I have no idea what you just said.
Down by his
He was some
rivals,
sort
he's
of high.
stuck
But
here
think
in
it
the
was
arse.
some, yeah, put down by his rivals, stuck here
But
in the
down
arse.
by
end
his
of
rivals
Sigil.
and arse. Yeah. I'm stuck in the arse.
Thanks, Ozzy.
This is wrong. What's wrong?
Sharon.
The bug sits in there alone all night and day, it seems, waiting for you folk to bring in tales and paying them the bounty. He knows the best part. Poor son must be allergic to rats, because he's always got a huge rat screw.
This guy's life is terrible, and you're laughing at him right in his face.
Oh God, that's
Poor
too
Phineas.
It's great. I love it.
Poor Phineas.
Powers be praised. I hate that fella.
It's more like a series of vowels that are occasionally interrupted by consonants.
Yeah.
Rather than words.
Well, the fact of the matter is that you know she's nailing this because we can't understand her.
Yeah, exactly. You put
Like it's
down.
impossible. That means you've nailed it.
Any
I
idea
did. I would
why
all
that
yes.
would happen?
This is your
Well,
actual
yeah.
accent, isn't it?
This is yes. The real dot is showing.
I'm from
Well,
the East End,
it's
I am.
right chatty.
Show us your real passport.
Come give us a kiss, love.
Oh man, yo, my cats didn't like it. Stop it, cats. They're fighting.
Well, it's right chatty he is. He'll rail his bone box for hours on just how smart he is and the like. Mayhap that's got something to do with it.
All right, I'm gonna have to speak with him soon.
Oh wait, what's your rush? What's your hurry?
Let's see.
Gave me just a.
What's that building there behind you? Oh, that's the building? Oh, okay.
That's the Office of Vermin and Disease Control, Carter. I sell my rats there for drink when cooks and the little blotters and all of them sell them.
The funny thing about this dude,
It's the worst pie shop in Sigil.
like everyone that we talk to is like, oh, the way you get air is this way, Cutter. I'm like, where is it? Right behind me. And just like, why?
It's right there.
A map is supposed to lead you elsewhere. It's like going to the New York City and finding a map that shows you how to get to New York City. Like, okay. I had another
Yes. question
then, which is tell me about Lady of Pain.
Aye, the mistress of Sigil. I don't think about the lady, Cutter, and you shouldn't go back asking about her neighbor. It'll bring ill luck on you, it will.
He makes a semicircular sign over his chest. All right, so never mind the Lady
I am
of
a
Pain.
broken
Circle,
man.
dot, dot. Now I've got my goodie shot.
Wow. Oh, it just reminds me of a Lego video that was circle.
It's nice to know that I'm not the only broken human on this stream. I'm really
Oh no,
glad.
we all are.
Do you know someone named
Together we are
Farid?
whole.
Oh, Farid? Why, I couldn't be looking for a man like that.
It's a long story. I just need to find him.
He's the head of a pack of collectors, he is. It was all about time, probably to avoid trouble. Cause someplace in Rex Picker Square's case, most likely. He's a right crafty fellow, that Farid. A cutter's best watch himself around that fellow.
Where is this Rag Picker Square?
It's right behind me.
He's right there!
It's right there, beneath your feet.
I'll
It's the
show you,
sign right
Cutter.
up there.
I'll show you, Cutter. Just send me your map.
Yeah.
Just send me your map. I know what I'm saying. The man points it out for you, leaving a large, greasy... Oh, that's not my line.
The man points it out for you, leaving a large, greasy fingerprint of the process. Okay, and do you have? How about that journal? I'm missing one. You seen one?
Sorry, Cutter. Can't say that I've seen one of those, pal.
Okay, I'll take one of your rats. Can I have a rat?
I don't know how to read.
Oh my God, he's gonna tell me how to get it cooked.
Go! Oh, what sorts would you like?
He points to each in turn with a grimy fingernail.
I've got them baked, spiced, boiled, and charred, all fresh, all scrumptious, and only 3 coppers for 2.
I need something to heal.
Baked, spiced, boiled, and charred.
Charred? You hand over your coppers, and in one swift motion he runs a pair of charred rats through with a wooden skewer, unhooks them, and places them your hand. I think I mean in your hand. He winks at you.
Enjoy, Cutter.
I need food. Eat the rats. Eat. The rat is burnt and crispy outside, but tender and juicy within. It's a bit greasy and rather rich, tasting of some other meat you're sure you've
You
had
accidentally
before.
eat your hand.
Cough, cough.
The man looks at you expectantly.
Did you like? Would you like another?
No more from me. Farewell. Did I get some food?
No, but you found some friends.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the important part.
I need to get into... Okay,
Done.
door. Get in.
Did you just heal? We must attack you.
Okay. I made it. It's
My God,
Phineas
he went
T-
inside that door. We'll never see him again.
Y'all, it's not just Phineas T. Lort. It's Phineas T. Lort, the 39th. This is the 39th version of Phineas T. Lort.
Wow.
That's XXXIX, okay?
I'm just going to see if container's locked. All right, well, I see how that
Those
goes.
little places.
So Phineas T. Lort, I'm going to ask you to give me some health. First, I'm going to take this junk.
Some nice young.
Need to send another report to the...
All right, Rob.
Yes.
You see here a squat man with rash-covered skin and several pustules covering his face. His clothes seem to mark him as some sort of an official, but they are dirty, wrinkled, and covered with rat hair. As you watch, he idly scratches himself with his stubby fingers. Okay, you're seeing Stallone in Demolition Man, Lobo? Yeah. Greetings. The little man shrieks and jumps, startled. Clutching his heart, he takes a deep breath and pushes his spectacles up on his rash-ridden nose.
Yes, and what is it that I can do for you?
He scratches his nose and looks you up and down, studying your scars.
I have little to nothing in the till, so if you have come to plunder the premises, this locale is ill-chosen.
I'm not here to plunder the premises. Who are you?
Oh
boy.
I am the respected Phineas T. Lort the 39th, in charge of this hive branch of the Office for Vermin and Disease Control. It is my distinguished privilege.
He scratches his chest and puffs up.
To inform you that we, in the bureaucratic sense of the word we, meaning to encompass the sigil bureaucracy as a whole, are accepting bounties on all manner of vermin and strays that infest the
scratches again.
Fair streets of Sigil, hub of the metaverse. I'm sorry, multiverse.
No.
And this and the city and the city which sits at the center of all things. This city by which all other cities are measured.
Topeka? Bounties?
Updated my journal.
Yes, please, update your journal right away. I've no idea what that means.
That actually reminds me, after we do this, we have to level up, because I did hear the little ding sound.
Yeah.
On you go.
Yes, we, in the bureaucratic sense of the word, we, meaning to encompass the sigil bureaucracy as a whole, are accepting tangible proof of the eradication of brain vermin, aka cranium rats, from the hive area where they have clustered quite thickly for the past many years. Recent census of the vermin population has shown. I am empowered by the Sigilian bureaucracy to pay a bounty of 1 copper common per cranium rat delivered to my branch office.
They're called brain vermin. No, it's cranium rat.
1/4 portion. Sorry.
Cranium rat. Huh?
Cranium rats are a species of vermin that become more intelligent. The more of them are in close proximity to each other. 1 cranium rat alone is but a nuisance that chews at boards and burrows into food. But 5, 10, or more, and their intelligence grows until it surpasses even the intelligence of the one such as myself. I imagine that 2 or 3 cranium rats might be enough to outwit you, sir.
Another comment like that, and you'll be wearing your ass as a hat. Phineas blinks. Your appearance seems to sink in at last.
I withdraw my most inappropriate comment, especially in light of your recent assertion of dominance and physical superiority in this social situation.
In other words, chat, I freaked him out. How many cranium rats are in Sigil?
More than enough to last a bounty hunter a lifetime. Perhaps several, depending on how many times you get into fights with the locals.
I had some other questions. How did someone as illustrious
And what
as
would
you,
your questions be?
How did someone as illustrious as you end up in such a place?
Oh, it's quite lovely that you ask, my boy. Well, it is quite an epic tale. You see, I was born here in Sigil.
Oh,
Here we
man.
go.
Montage. Yep.
Oh.
Time passes.
Yeah.
Well, we could write
You
this, or
rested
we
for
could just
8
show a
hours.
For 8
clock.
hours.
That's actually okay, though. Like,
Yeah, get
It's
your
a
health
wonder
back
that
up.
Irish and
That's
women-
amazing.
he doesn't even keep talking. Like, he's just like, well, that happened. All right,
That's
well, we're
amazing.
going to save it because that was
All right.
good stuff.
I have an idea. When
yeah.
because there seems to be a lot of like individual characters that we're talking to.
Mhm.
So I don't mind, like, if you want to ask the questions as the nameless one, I don't mind being the narrator in between, so that multiple of
Okay.
us, so it doesn't have to just be like
That's a good idea.
back and forth between people.
That is a good idea. Yes, I will do that.
Okay.
Vermin control.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, you can name your saves. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So
Arv, just a quick message to chat.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, sorry. So we will let us take a 5-minute break, and then we will be back chat with more of the amazing Arvocalists with Planescape Torment. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. More to come with Phineas, Lort, and friends very soon. Hold tight.
Let's do it.
Thank y'all. I wish that show that they had made off the dress.
Okay. Sorry if I interrupted somebody. Okay.
You did
there
not.
You go. All right. Welcome back, everybody.
How dare you interrupt my cookie eating?
I'm Phineas Lort, and I. Okay. So, welcome back, everybody. As we continue, we will play here until midnight, our time, which is another 50 minutes, roughly speaking. And then we will be done, but we're going to see what happens now as we move on.
Well, I mean,
to figure out what. Oh, I keep forgetting that they keep doing little things like, hey, what's up? So we have gotten information.
Yeah, they had enough money in the budget for incidentals, but not for the rest of it.
Not the rest of it, yeah. Okay. Meanwhile.
Oh, still under attack. Oh, you are?
Oh my God, he came out of that door. Get him.
I'm healthy now, so.
No one comes out of that door.
We've been waiting for you the whole time.
Never go that way. If he had kept going that way, he would have gone right to that castle.
All right.
Oh.
Haha.
Don't forget, right after this, you gotta level up.
That's right. Thank you. That's right. All right. Let's go pick this stuff up. Let's get this bronze ring. We need to find a merchant to sell this stuff to, and then identify that other earring.
The Merchant of Sigil.
That's right.
All right.
All right.
Prick us, do we not plead, Burke?
Done.
Wrong us, shall we not revenge? No, I can't pick it up because...
Cry havoc!
Okay, we're going to drop this wooden club, which I'm going to assume is not worth that much.
I'd give real money if he'd shut up.
All right. Good. Now, level up. Yes. I have to figure out how to...
What are you talking about, Lone? My cookies taste just...
Oh, we don't. We have
Wait
not
a
leveled
minute.
up yet.
What happened to the
we
rats?
had.
Oh.
I thought we
Level
had,
4.
but I guess not.
Huh.
Level 4. It's level 2.
Interesting.
Level 4. It looks like we had, but...
Maybe you don't... Or, no. I was about to say, maybe you don't get to choose stuff at this level, but...
I don't remember. There is a...
You have to insert disc 2 in order to pick things.
In order to level up.
I literally watched somebody play a game the other day, and the first whole cutscene was the first disc. There was nothing else of the game on it.
Oh my
to play
God,
the game,
yeah.
you had to put in disc 2.
Early 2000s, they went pretty wild with that, too. There's a game on PS2 that had 4 discs.
The installation CD and the actual playing the game CD, yeah.
I'm going to reload this because the map is not moving correctly. I actually have the original Baldur's Gate that I have had like 5 separate CDs and that you had. So yeah, very different kind of environment. Okay, there's a hive dwelling. It's Braskin's Kip. I thought there was a marketplace though, and I don't think that this counts, but I thought there was a marketplace here someplace.
What's up?
Yeah, that was it, Lone Wolf. Actually, now that I remember.
Done.
Done.
Ooh, Miram. Okay, let's see. Well, I want Dot to do this, but I want Zach to come into this. So we're going to do what you just said, Zach, to avoid this problem. So you may proceed with the narration, so it's not me talking.
Sounds great. All right. This old woman stands silently by the wall, staring off into the distance. She seems to be unconcerned with the flow of traffic around her, and clutches a wooden pole from which dozens of small fish are dangling.
Greetings.
Oh, hello, sir.
She squints at you for a moment, trying to discern your identity.
Oh, my. I was thinking you're one of those regular customers.
She proffers her fish pole.
Tuna, sir? A mackerel? A sea cucumber?
Oh, she's just a little sweetheart.
No fish, thanks. I had some questions.
Her mouth presses down into a tight-lipped frown, and she stares off over your shoulder.
I don't like questions. I will look behind me to see what she's staring at.
You can see nothing of interest behind you. As you turn back to her, You catch. She's gone. No, you
She's
catch
vanished.
her looking at you. She looks away quickly, resuming her staring off into the distance once more.
What? Do I look familiar to you?
Goodness, no. Oh, you do.
Have you seen? I like the interesting. Farewell, fishwife. Just like, get out of my feet. Have you seen me before then?
I think. Oh, a man with very likeness, sir. 'Twas so long ago.
All right, tell me.
Well, sir, you see, my sight's not so good now. 'Twas back then, neither. But I thought I saw you walking past with a small group trailing along behind you.
What did these people look like?
It's hard to say, sir. It was so long ago. And he walked by so quick like. Oh, but I remember now the way he held your head up. There was a woman following you, trying to stop you. to get you to turn around to speak to her. But ye pushed her away.
That's that woman that we spoke to inside the morgue. What happened then?
Beautiful woman, she was. Looked so sad, so angry all at once. She stood there for a moment, and then followed along behind you, just the same, hustling to catch up.
You said there was a group? Who else was there?
She shrugs.
There was at least 2 other gentlemen with you, sir. The only one I remember too clearly, though, was tall, thin, reeked of bub, he did.
Bub.
Somebody clip that for me from my friend Bub.
I smelled him from across the way. Looked like he hadn't bathed in ages, too. He followed you close, he did, and never said a word. Acted like the woman wasn't even there, even when she bumped against him trying to stop you. That's all I remember, sir.
Give her some copper for her time. Yeah, sure. How much do you give the fish? I mean,
Yeah,
1, that's
sorry.
what I have.
She smiles and nods at you.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I'll actually give it back. You didn't react nicely enough. I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. That's great. We've talked to Merum. Still looking for this alleged market.
I'm gone.
Done. I'm gone.
Hive merchant.
Oh, there's
Aha.
a merchant.
Okay, Zach, you'll be the merchant this time.
Okay.
And Rob, if you would not mind doing the sort of in between.
The narration?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Of course.
This dapper-faced old fellow appears to be selling various hand weapons.
Ah, come on over then. Come to see my blades, have you?
Oh, absolutely. By which I mean, give me stuff. I would like you to identify for 100 copper. Wow, is that expensive? All right, well, let's sell some stuff. That charcoal charm is 200 copper. Wow. All right. This is great. Most of what I have is completely useless. All right, well, let's sell that. What? Why can I not sell the... Why can't I sell this bronze ring?
Maybe because you have it equipped? No.
No, I don't think so. I think because I have 1 or 2 of them on, but...
Clearly you've never played Skyrim.
Yeah.
Maybe he's
I
not
just sold
interested.
everything I own. Why am I naked?
Antler axe. Look at some of these things.
You're pretty good on weapons.
Yeah, I think I'm okay at weapons. I'm selling this so I can get enough to identify this earring so I can wear it.
Yeah.
Gotta remember what the heck I want to see what this embalming charm does again. Okay, so this thing. Oh yeah, 2 to 8 temporary hit points. Okay, yeah. All right. Well, let's get rid of the junk since I can't sell it anyway. Those cleaning rags don't do any good.
Maybe you can't sell the ring because you haven't identified it.
Well, that's not the ring. That's the see these. I don't know. This 50% resistance to fire and stuff seems like it might be super useful, but it's hard to pass up 200 copper. Like,
yeah. Next thing you fight only does fire damage.
Exactly. It's all fire damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll sell that embalming charm. You spend 1,000 gold to find out it's a ring worth 10 gold. Yeah, I know, right? That's always the way.
This is the way.
All right, let me try selling. Oh, man. I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm gonna hold on to the charcoal charm. But I'm gonna sell this. All right, now.
All right.
Identify this thing. Tell me what it is.
Earring.
Of course, it's usable only by thieves. Plus 10% stealth skill bonus. Small earring made from polished obsidian. Reflects no light whatsoever. Referred to as a rogue's best friend. The black gem this earring is made from possesses magical properties that absorb light, making it easier for its wearer to move undetected in the shadows.
Interesting.
Yeah. I still can't use it. Maybe I can sell it? I guess I could also keep it.
Well,
all right. Well,
maybe eventually you'll get a thief joining the party.
That's true. I mean, I have 101 gold now, so that's better. All right, good. So we're in much better shape. Full health and with actual money now. Okay. Right, and that's the junk that we're leaving behind. And here we have Kosa Jai. And Giskorl. Oh, we got a few people here. All right. Let's talk to Kosa Jai. We'll have Dot play this, then we'll have Rob narrate, and then we'll have Zach do Giskorl up here. So, Kosa Jai. Poor Dot. He's been like, what was your experience like? Well, old crones, harlots. It was great. So, go ahead, Rob. You can narrate this, and the next one will be Zach doing it.
This toothless old crone is played by Dot. I'm kidding.
Apparently Dot reeks of fish and
all of your voices sound oddly familiar. This toothless old crone reeks of fish and brine. Spying your approach, she gives you a wide, pink smile.
Fish, my child. Fish heads mayhap.
That's good. Child, hardly.
Oh, yes. Yes. There's my cats fighting.
Wow. Did it just murder something?
Yes, the cat's like,
my cat's fighting. But a child you are.
I bring a sacrifice.
Youngsters.
I believe you're mistaken. Take a closer look. Also, high trending. Thank you for the host.
I'm trying not to spit out my tea.
Wow. That was really...
She shuffles up to you. Stop interrupting me, I'm doing it. She shuffles up to you. The fish stink is nearly overpowering. The old woman squints at your face first, frowning, and then into your eyes. Only then does she recoil in surprise.
There's more cat.
Yeah.
Hold off, but
I think your cat's about to do the roll.
Yeah, no, seriously.
let me put the kitten away. Somebody else take over Toothless
Okay.
Lady.
Oh.
Go ahead, Zach.
Oh, you have those, I see.
I do not know. How many do you think?
Don't know. Too many, I'd say. But no matter.
She leans close to whisper in your ear.
It won't do to rattle the passers-by. Let's keep it our little secret.
she resumes her normal tone of voice.
So, fish, my child.
I said her normal tone of voice.
So normal. Fish, my child.
There you go. Her normal tone of... God damn it.
What are you offering?
Man, taking some real liberties here with what the old crone sounds like.
What are you offering exactly?
She pokes you in the belly. Stop taking away my line. No.
Is Dot back? I thought I heard Dot laugh.
Yeah.
No, it's still dealing with cats.
Okay.
Why, fish, my silly child. Fish of all sorts. And fish heads for those too short of jink for the whole ones. Teeny tiny fish heads.
Where do the fish come from? Well, the brain vermin vomit out these fish.
They're brought to Sigil from all over the plains, my boy. Would you like some? I sell only the heads. You should you be short on jink.
I don't need fish, but I did have some questions. Good night, Shadow Mage. Hang in there, man. And
Good
we'll
night, Shadow
talk more
Mage.
soon. Good night, Shadow.
Best of luck to you.
Okay.
I don't need
Ooh,
fish.
nothing to wind you like chasing the kitten. Whew.
Safe with the cat. I don't need fish,
Suddenly,
but I had some questions. So
Suddenly her personality completely shifted.
Exactly.
She shakes her head a little. She shakes her little... She shakes her little wrinkled head.
No anthers have I, only fish.
All right, see you.
Bye.
Let's see. All right, that is going to lead
Get your
us
splurs.
to-
Get your splurs. Get your split personalities in order. Get your splurs. It's just like when I record audiobooks.
Yeah.
So here is Giscorl. For this one, we will have Zach, but we're going to have Dot narrating this since we had Robin taking last one. So proceed.
You see a spindly-looking merchant with a brush of gray and red stubble across his chin. He wears several layers of brightly colored robes, so much so that he looks like a flag with arms and legs. He is shaking slightly as you watch.
Greetings.
Flapping in the wind.
Gisco.
He bows and spreads his trembling hands. As he does, you notice his hands and forearms are a twisted mass of black scar tissue, as if they were once badly burned.
I'm glad. I'm really glad, Shadow, you got your third vaccine shot. My booster, Rob has the same experience. I think my booster shot
knocked me
out
sideways really bad.
Yeah. So get some
just
sleep,
rest up, dude. Rest up.
And I'm glad that you got that. That's
Drink a lot of water. My doctor said drink a lot
God,
of
the nurse
water.
told me that like 5 times. Like, dude, water. Like, yes, Jesus. All right. How did you hurt your hands? I'm not going to be like, dance around things in Sigil. How did you hurt your hands?
Giscorl doesn't seem to have heard you. He answers only with his spile. Spiel?
Spiel.
Delivered in the... Oh, with his spiel. I get it. Okay, right. Yes. He answers only with
Spiel. It's like a schmear.
delivered in the same
It's
flat
Yiddish.
monotone.
Giscorl, buy cloth, sell cloth, wash cloth, mend cloth.
One cloth, two cloth, red cloth, blue cloth. Where's this going?
And
He
wear
gestures
cloth.
at
Yeah,
his layers of
I
clothing
gesture.
with his shaking hand.
Wear cloth.
He's making me super sad because that voice is reminding me of the thing in Neverending Story. That's such strong hands.
The rock biter.
Yeah. Oh man. I asked, how did you hurt your hands?
Giscorl's monotone breaks.
Giscorl, buy cloth, sell cloth, wash cloth, mend cloth.
I'm sorry.
He gestures at himself again, but his hands are shaking so badly that he cannot even finish.
Never mind. Can I see what you have? Oh my God.
You're a jerk.
Oh, he has bandages.
Please just buy something.
You can use a needle and thread on creatures to heal 6 hit points because, of course, you can. And we don't need this. All right, I'm going to...
What, are you just sewing your wounds shut?
Hey, look, have you seen what we look like? I mean...
Min's body ages.
Yeah.
Oh, you can buy multiples of these. All right, well...
Multiple bandages.
This is 3 hit points. This is more.
I sew skin while it's still attached.
79. I'm going to use all of these. Okay.
The sugar is going right to my brain tonight.
Done.
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 This poor guy.
Yeah, this must be the market.
This is the market, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here are those things. Oh, this is these things.
And again, use what you got.
It's
right?
called a lim. Is
Lim.
this thing that was lying dead on the ground back there.
Huh.
What's up, Lim? Oh, we can do stuff with the Lim. Go ahead, Ron.
This odd-looking little creature appears both insect and animal in origin.
Charming.
Its legs are oversized, but its arms are small, nearly vestigial, and a brightly speckled half-shell runs down its back. It sports twin pairs of insect-like wings, and has tiny black eyes, and a mouth that always appears to be smiling gleefully.
This is going to come back to bite me, probably literally, but I can't kick it. I'm going to pet the Lim.
Oh.
Oh, it's a Pokemon.
Shoots lasers out of its eyes at you. The limb.
I like that interpretation.
You die instantly. The lim bounces about merrily as it eats the fruit of the yum tree. What the hell are we talking about? It's wing buzzing. It seems to enjoy the affection immensely.
Obviously, we pet it some more.
The lim bounces about merrily,
Discovered infinity.
doing some buzzing and dancing the Macarena.
Pet it some more. Make it happen.
Just spam click 1.
It eats your foot.
You realize at a certain point it's just pew pew. All right.
By the end of the night, half of Sigil was in ruins.
Oi, Burke, I remember one time you were just petting those bugs until you dropped over from famine. It was great. Okay.
I remember the night of the terrible pew-pew meltdown of the city.
Yeah.
We've got
Too many
great
Nothing was left of the town.
Yeah.
That was the lim protocol. All right, we're gonna hear from Profira, and then I want to talk. So Zach is gonna be Craddock because this guy looks like a badass.
Cool.
Profira, I think we're gonna have be Dot, but this time Profira does not sound like "well, child," like you're gonna fall over.
Right. Okay.
Plot
Yeah.
twist,
I get something else. Okay.
She's grim looking
this-
though, Dot. Just so you
This
know.
grim looking.
Yeah, it's got to be the same voice, okay?
Nope, powerful voice it says.
I
Powerful
want
voice.
you to do think crone. No.
This grim-looking woman spares you only a brief glance before returning to her rant on top of the stage. She has a powerful voice, that carries across the marketplace, even cutting through the noise made by the merchants and the surrounding foot traffic.
All right, I can't do anything about that. So instead, it's going to be Craddock because I can't talk to her. So Craddock, Craddock will be Zach, and this time Dot will narrate, please.
Craddock,
Yes.
more like Zadok.
You see a huge man watching the area with tight-lipped frown and narrow eyes. He is hunched slightly, as if bearing a heavy load on his shoulders. The unpleasant smell of sweat and dirt wafts from his clothes.
He's like, I am the father of the brain vermin. Okay, does this guy have any other, does anyone walk around greetings? Like, really? Greetings.
Salutations!
Right?
The man glances down at you, and his frown deepens.
What are you sniffing down there? What are you sniffing? What are you sniffing?
You all right? Sniffing.
Stop sniffing my coat!
What are you sniffing?
That actually, we were supposed to find this dude, actually, Craddock. You Craddock?
Yes.
Mayhap.
He studies
Yes.
your face, as if trying to recall you.
If I am, what be it to ye?
I ain't taking no Hippocratic oath.
I come with a message from Bane the Sender. Take you now and have offender. No, the message states, the shipment must be incursed by the 3rd day, or there will be a penalty.
By the hells! Can they be such fools that they think we can miracle it here? All right then, your message has found its way to the right ears. For all the good it will do.
Well, what's the problem?
Look around here.
Craddock nods at the laborers in the marketplace, then scowls.
These laggards and half-wits can barely keep up with the load as it stands. And now it needs doing in half the time.
Do you need any help?
I'll tell you what I need. All my men to show up for work. July's gone missing since this morn. I need him back now.
July? I heard he was following June. Where did he go?
Oh, that high-bred goat's probably passed out on the street somewhere by the smoldering corpse. He should be here helping us. Worth a sod.
I could go find him for you.
Oh, you could? Could you?
Craddock squints at you.
And now why would you do that?
You need the help, don't you? Doesn't sound like you can spare the time to go looking for him, and there's work to be done.
Craddock is silent for a moment, then nods.
Aye. You find July. Following June. You tell him to drag his worthless bob-ridden hide here. I'll pay you for your trouble.
And bring August along with him.
When you found him. Now get.
You said he's likely by the smoldering corpse. Where is that?
Updated my
It's
journal.
right behind me. No. It's... I think there's supposed to be a quotation here, but I'll speak anyway. It's south and east of here. Head through the southeast gate, then head east for about a block. It's got a mess of drunks outside. Can't miss it. July is most likely somewhere around August or June.
Here's why, by the way. We're going to go there next, and I'll tell you why. Because the smoldering corpse is... Thank you for the follow. The smoldering corpse...
the smoldering corpse is now hosting the stream.
Yeah, exactly. The smoldering corpse actually is called that. Well, I don't want to spoil it. You'll see when we get there. It's one of those things that's just part of the manifest weirdness of Planescape Torment that just kind of... It just has this sort of thing. I don't know.
So much for the blind playthrough.
I liked... The voice was perfect for that, too. Hugh.
It's almost like I'm a voice actor or something. No, it couldn't possibly be that.
I'm appalled. All right. I've robbed Peter. All right. So here we go. Southeast, and then he said east, right? So going direct
East. West.
All right.
Wumbo.
Looking for some drunks. Drunk. That's a good sign. Nope, not thugs.
Oh, no.
Nope. Okay.
I heard you wanted to fight.
There's only one drunk. I need more drunks.
Right.
Damn it.
Oh, there you go.
We're out. I hope this is the place. Whoa. There it is. That's why it's called the Smoldering Corpse.
Whoa.
This is Ignis. So, let's see.
Oh,
for this
I want
one,
this.
Yeah, you know, I was going to give it to you, Rob. This will be
this
will be Rob. Zach can narrate this one. So,
yeah.
Ignis is literally, it's called this because he's here all the time, as you'll see.
This crackling, billowing creature twists slowly above an iron grill upon the floor of the bar. It may have once been human, but now its skin is charred beyond recognition. Streams of fire form a wreath around the creature's body, and the flames lick at the few remaining pockets of flesh, causing them to bubble and run like wax down the creature's skeletal frame.
Examine it.
The heat surrounding this creature is incredible. To your surprise, the iron grill the creature floats above has sagged and bent from the heat. At first, you thought the heat came from the grill, but now you realize it emanates from the creature. As you watch, flecks of ash drift from the writhing corpse and float slowly to the ceiling.
This thing is, greetings?
The thing makes no response aside from an ethereal scream. It writhes slowly within the flames. It lives, but it does not seem aware of anything other than the fire that surrounds it. Its skin is flame, its heart is flame, washcloth, cellcloth, bycloth, and you know within some shadowed corner of your memory that this thing is dangerous.
Did you give me the voice of a character that doesn't speak?
I think, yeah. No, it does. He does, but not yet, I guess. All right.
Done.
Rob will remember this.
This Drusilla, we're going to have Dot do this, but Rob is going to narrate.
Okay. This is a woman with fading bruises on her face and arms, and a look of despairing longing in her sunken eyes. She might have been pretty once, but now she's a crone. No, I'm kidding. But those days...
now crone.
Now old lady, suddenly. But those days were long ago. She turns slowly to face you. Life pours into her features, and the spark of sardonic light that dances in her eyes now makes you wonder if your eyes were deceiving you.
Welcome to the smoldering corpse, Godman.
I love you,
Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Baltimore.
Yes.
Who are you?
I'm Drusilla, and you must be clueless. Don't ask me how I know it. It just shines off you.
Oh, I love this
Clueless?
voice so much.
I think not.
She smirks at you, and her bruises seem almost to fade.
Whatever you say, dearie.
Whatever. Answer some questions for me.
Hi, traveler. What's it you seek?
I'm looking for a journal. Would you happen to have seen it?
A journal? Oh, sure. I've kept an eye out for all stray journals, just in case some scarred man walks into my favorite bar and starts asking about it. Do you ask that of everyone you meet? What a fascinating life.
You have a smart mouth, and you don't you?
A smart mouth for a smart head. I ain't that addle cove you might think, sod. I got some brain on me.
This doesn't sound... This answer, which I'm not going to do, but too bad it's not in you, farewell, sounds like a burn, and then you're like, what the hell does that mean? What? I got a brain in me? What? I don't...
It sounded good at the time.
Ha! I've made a grammatical turn for no reason.
I put words together into a sentence.
Wit!
If you're so smart, you should be able to answer my questions. All right.
Hi, traveler. What's it you seek?
All right, what can you tell me about this place?
Here? This is the smoldering corpse, though the person smoldering ain't dead. He's just keeping himself alive till someone comes along to help him out, you know? Someone who likes to see people in pain come here. Fiends like folks who don't much care for being bothered some here, too. The name alone keeps out most of the breaks.
He's a Final Fantasy 14 raid member still waiting for a res.
Well, who is he
Yes.
anyway?
Someday the healer will get around to me.
Is that an open quotation?
I think it's
No,
narration.
that's a
I think that's narration, yeah.
That despair you saw on her face before flits across it again, like a black-winged shadow before she masters herself.
That's Ignis. One of the greatest wizards ever to come out of this slummy excuse for a cesspool. They call him, and they open a channel to the plane of fire through him. And now he's just a doorway for it, keeping himself alive by force of will alone. If someone could douse him for a few moments, I'd give him his life back again. But they don't make enough water to do that.
What's your connection to him?
Her voice practically throbs with a deep ache.
I was Ignis's lover, and he my beloved. Is that deep and aching enough for you?
I love Mr. J so much.
He loved the flame more than me, and now he's become the flame. And because I loved him, I love the flame. And that's all done now with now. Now I wait for him to douse himself. I sell what little I have just so I can be near him.
Now,
I really feel like after hearing that, the answer being like, very well, answer some other questions. Like, really? That's like, okay, let's see. I'm looking for a collector by the name of Farid. You seen or heard of him?
Farrett?
She snickers.
The collector king? Ow. You probably find him and his stinking ilk in the trash warrens on the far side of the hive. good luck getting any answers from him. He's a sly devil, he is.
It's like a cross between Harlequin and between Marissa Tomei's character and my cousin Vinny. Like, this thing says it's dead on balls accurate.
A doe-eyed little deer.
It's the receptionist from the Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Yeah, what do you want?
Yes.
Oh, very well. Answer some other questions. All right.
I love it. This voice is fantastic.
Who is that burning by the entryway, even though you've already told me? Oh, never mind. I've already done this.
The despair you.
No, I've already done this.
You want to hear it again? Because I talk about dousing him with water a few times.
Okay, I think that's
Her
all.
voice
then.
practically throbs with ache.
It's throbbing. It's throbbing.
It's still throbbing to this very day.
I wonder if I can talk to him now that I know this.
The throbbing never ceases.
Can I speak to you? I can't. All right, so I need to find some other way to. I forget.
You need water, damn it.
Yeah, well, that's certainly true. Oh, Ebb Creek knees. Hell
yeah.
yes.
Let's go.
I want, but see, the only problem is.
Who do you want me to be?
See, the thing is because Zach's old man voice for this stuff cracks me up. So
let him do it.
I'm gonna have Zach
That's
do this
fine.
and you narrate it, and you'll do the next one. And I
Okay,
also see
that's
the
fine.
time dot. I know that.
Wait, who's narrating?
11:44. So this is. Oh, actually, no. Let Dot narrate
yeah.
this one and have Zach be Ebb Creek knees.
But do it in that same voice because it's fantastic.
You see a slightly souped old man with a gray beard and a lion's mane of gray hair. He wears a couple of shoulder guards as armor, and he keeps a helmet nearby. He smokes a pipe, and he carries a pouch of tobacco around his waist. He looks pretty strong, but he's a little plump, and also appears to have some sort of breathing trouble.
Well, now aren't you a sight, lad? Never have I seen so many stars blanketing a fellow. Like a scar cloak you're wearing. Where you been, hanging out at a grain thresher?
He laughs.
I'm just jesting with you, lad. No offense meant, and I hope no offense taken. I am Ebb.
He extends his hand.
Greetings, Ebb.
His
My name is
handshake-
Flo.
In case you wanted to know, his handshake is firm.
Okay.
Fine.
No, I hereby tender my apologies for the unfair jesting, lad. Hope no hard feelings. Can I buy you a tankard or two? Something to smooth any ruffled feathers.
Why not?
That's the spirit, lad. Bide a moment.
Oh, he raises to his feet and heads to the bar. After a moment, he returns to his seat with a pair of tankards.
Here you go, lad. Drink up.
He takes a massive swallow from his own tankard, puffs on his pipe, and he says,
What can old Ebb do for you on this fine central day?
Well, I had some question about your knees. I mean, about this place.
Oh, well, I gathered that just to look at you. I mean, you don't look like you're from around these parts, lad. You look a little too out of sorts to be a seasoned native.
Ebb chuckles, then takes another drink.
So what can I help you with? You need to know the lay of the land from old Creekneys.
Ebb winks.
Who are you?
Ebb Creekneys.
Ebb Creekneys, third measure of the harmonium.
Of the
My name is
harmonium.
Ebb Creekney.
Of the harmonium.
It's a good
Now,
name.
retired and being a tout with one's voice, since I don't step as lightly as I might these past 2 or 3 decades.
He chuckles.
Now, lad, who be you? And what trouble might you be in?
Third measure of the harmonium.
Ebb puffs slightly in pride and gets a semi-stern look on his face.
Aye, third measure of the harmonium.
He relaxes a little.
Though I haven't served a tour of duty in many a decade. Pushing a quill wasn't quite up my alley after all the fights and skirmishes I've been in. So I just bide my time keeping tabs on things down here in the hive, helping out a little where I can. And you look like someone who might need a hand. Are you in some kind of trouble, lad?
What fights and skirmishes have you been in?
Ebb rolls his eyes.
More than I can remember, lad. Well, almost then. More than I can remember, leastwise. I did an all-too-long tour in the Blood War, that infernal mock-up of War of Lies on Terrors, far too many years in the Black Centuries War.
Ed begins to tick off the wars on his fingers and counts silently to himself.
39. Then there was the Three Plains War, and many others. I even took part in the Harmonium War of Liberation. Towards the end there, I was also in the Sigil City Watch, yes. Some could argue that was the most dangerous of them all.
He laughs loudly. See, the mention of the Blood Wars feels like a cold dagger slipping into your heart.
Nice. Tell me more of this Blood War. I love the feeling of a cold dagger slipping in.
Ebb sighs, oblivious to your reaction.
The Blood War, the most dangerous family feud this side of the primordial soup. A mean-spirited mob of fiends on one side, a batch of warmonger fiends on the other. It's the war that creation sparked. We've been digging into each other ever since.
Have a good night, Lone Wolf. Sleep well, man. Two sets of fiends warring against each other, eh?
Aye. The Tenari, vicious killers who care for none but themselves. And the Batizu, war machine. All for law and order, under their infernal rules. The whole mess spills out into other planes from time to time. And it's made the multiverse a less pleasant place to live.
I see. I had some other questions.
Aye, lad, what do you want to know?
Do you know someone named Ferret?
Ferret?
Ebb frowns, takes the pipe from his mouth.
Now, lad, what would you be wanting with a Burke like Ferret?
I think I used to know him.
Aye, well, the more's your misfortune, then. Mayhap forgetting some things is better for you, then.
Ebb puffs heavily on its pipe.
Now he's just somebody that I used to know. He didn't have to cut me off. Make out like I was...
Well, now, I don't know everything there is to know about old Ferret, but I know some of the dark surrounding him. If you're determined to track down that spider and nail him to a wall, then I suppose I could spill some of the chant, so you know what you're tangling with.
He pauses to tamp his pipe.
Ferret dug his nest deep into Ragpicker's Square not long ago, got a bunch of collectors and gangs together, and started what one could almost consider a collecting faction. Be that as it might be.
All right, where can I find him?
Well, if you're looking for Ferret, which I would say is pretty balmy of you, you're a little off the beaten path. You want to be finding Ragpicker's Square. Chant is that Ferret set up his kip somewhere in the square. Even an old fella like me who's been around the ring a few times doesn't know exactly where. I figure that Ferret wants to keep the dark on his location dark.
Okay.
If you're all bound and determined to find Ferret, go to Ragpicker's Square. Try to dig up his location from some of the locals. Try and be careful about it, since there's plenty in the square that would make a gut hop out of you as soon as look at you.
And if you could pick me up a double dark mochaccino on your way out.
Dark chocolate for dark business. All right, I am missing a journal.
You're missing a journal?
Yes.
You're missing a journal?
Yes.
Was there more to the journal than just pages and words? Otherwise, I can't imagine too many Bloods who would bother themselves with letters unless it was really hot and spicy.
I mean, I don't mean to brag, but...
Not much use for books of learning around here. I don't know where you might find such a thing.
Ebb puffs on his pipe, and then he snaps his fingers.
But you know, lad, if Ferret is the one who scraped you off Sigil Street, then he might know the dark of where your stuff is. It's most likely in his larder, if you ask me, A dead man is usually in no position to keep his possessions when the collectors tumble across his body.
All right, I already talked to you about Farid, so...
I'm not what do you want to know?
I already asked about you. Tell me about what this place is.
You're in the smoldering corpse. Was it not obvious?
Tell me about it.
Not a pretty place is some, but it's got its own homespun kind of charm.
All right, what about the patrons?
Well, you got O, who claims to be a Lettier Stead of a person.
Yes.
Some mercy killers waiting
I do
around.
believe it's a letter, yes.
Peter Abishai on furlough from the Blood War. A Githzerai over there who's been watching you from afar. Not too unusual, mind you. They're Piri cutters. And Elias, down there, a clueless kid whose breeches seem to be just a bit too tight, if you get my meaning. Do you get my meaning? Yes.
Yes.
I get it.
Wanting on the plains, talk to Kandrin Ilborn over there. He knows more than most I know.
We will end up wrapping up by talking to the Githzerai. All right, who do you think the smoldering corpse is?
Him? Oh, no corpse, lad. No deader than him. Near as we can tell, old Ignis is still alive inside that little roast spit. Near as we can figure, anyway.
Ebb wrinkles his nose.
He can smell damnably awful, too. Keeps me on the pipe to make sure it don't worm its way into my nose. It does.
He chuckles.
How did he get there?
Yuck.
Ebb takes a smoke from his pipe for a moment, as if deciding how to phrase his comment.
Well, now, lad, Ignis had a smattering of problems, and some not slight wizardly magics to boot, and seldom do the two mix well, if you understand me. He liked to...
Ebb puffs on his pipes, and smoke trails up.
Well, he liked to burn things, and he started torching places and people, and generally making a bunch of trouble.
Yeah, this is what happens. And?
Well, now most of this was going on in the hive. And I'll be the first to admit that the hive is not the first place the Harmonium goes to keep Sigil's law.
Ebb looks a little shamefaced.
Failure on our part. It may be the place where our presence is most needed. So by the lady's reckoning, there was a little street-side justice in the wizardly community. A bunch of tea-leaf riders, hedge wizards and midwife witches got together and managed to weave a spell that was kind of poetic justice.
Ebb gestures with his pipe at the figure.
So now, he sits there and burns. He's still alive, which I don't think they counted on.
See, just fascinating different kinds of characters in here. All right, I want to get to the Githzerai. Let me just save this quickly. We may not have a chance to do all of it with Dot because I know she has a hard out. So let me go here and get to the Githzerai, which Rob will play once I get to him.
I'm gone.
Need to find where the
I'm here.
Nesquix.
Don't think it's Ilquix. That's him.
Bisquick.
Now, Dakan becomes one of your companions. So.
Oh, wow.
Dakan's super cool. Githzerai. Let's have... Okay, so Dot did an amazing job narrating that. Let's have narrating this. And Rob doing Dakan.
Okay.
Dakan.
Although, if he becomes a party member, then do we want Rob voicing Mort and...
Yeah, it should go the other
two
way
characters?
around. So then maybe Rob should narrate this one. And
Well, who... Okay, all right.
Right? Because you're gonna
Which
be
one
doing
do you
Mort.
want me to do?
I don't... Oh, I mean, you're doing fine as Mort. Either one. I like your Mort voice too, so...
Oh, you mean Mort? Okay.
No, in other words,
Yeah,
right,
because
like,
this
that-
may become another party
Right,
character,
right,
so we
right,
need
right,
a
right.
separate voice.
Okay, I'll narrate. That's fine.
So then, Dakan.
The man before you is old.
Yeah, this should be played by Zach. He's doing all the old people.
Dot does all the crones.
There's
Zach does all
crones
the
and
old
all-
people. And Rob does all the people from Brooklyn.
Old voice.
Basically, Dot is like Crone or Baltimore. Like, that's basically...
It starts.
Anyway,
The man before you is old. His dry, yellow skin has the scars of one who has traveled everywhere and never rested long in any one place. His pinched face is inhumanly angular, and his ears sweep out from his skull, tapering to points. He wears a loose-fitting orange tunic, and a strange, shimmering blade is strapped across his back. The blade looks to be a two-pronged glaive, made of some metal whose surface swirls like a film of oil on a pond.
And the classic opening. Greetings.
Greetings.
I have some questions for you.
Yes.
You have questions.
Hey, Arv, before we do this, since it's just me and Rob anyway, and Dot has to go, do we want to sign Dot off?
Oh,
now?
yeah, friends.
Yeah, let's do that and then just wrap this one conversation
Great.
with Rob.
Perfect.
and Zach.
I'll
I think
leave
that
my
makes
cam
sense.
open. That way I don't mess your overlay.
Dot, thank you very much for doing this, despite it was just, I know you were only able to do the voice, but thank you for coming by to do it anyway, because it meant we got the joy of your crone and your Brooklyn, oh my goodness, Mr. J voice, which is really great.
Yes, your Janine is wonderful.
It was really good
Great.
stuff.
That's actually a cosplay I do at DragonCon.
I was just gonna say, so tell me what you got coming up next and all that kind of
friends.
good stuff and all that.
I'm still kicking it over at Cobalt Press, so you can find me there all the time doing all kinds of stuff. Actually, I'm starting a mini painting show tomorrow, which is disaster for my camera, so all the more reason to get new cables. Oh my life. Yeah, and when I'm not there, I got I have a podcast that's been kicking it. We're about to cross the 200,000 download mark on the podcast.
I was just saying 200,000 podcast episodes. My God.
Yeah, no, downloads.
One every minute.
Yeah, and we've announced that we're expanding into a podcast network, so more to come under Pod by Night, which is pretty cool. Other things I'm busy on. I don't know what y'all are up to in March, but you may still have a chance if you want to go on a cruise with me. D3 at Sea launches in March.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna go all around Lake Cozumel and cool beach places where I'm gonna sit in the shade and play some D&D. It'll be sweet on the high seas, and I'll be running some tables. And what else? I don't know. I think that's the big stuff. Oh, if anybody's headed to Chattanooga for Con Nooga, I will be there running tables.
Very cool.
So
when is
you
that?
can come
Is it
play.
February, May?
It's in February, so you can come pop by and play tables if you're going to be in the Chattanooga area for Con Nooga. Other than that, just same old stuff here, there, and everywhere.
This is good stuff. Thank you, Dot, for making a part of this. Rock God had a request, which is to kindly request just before the end of the night that you say you win every case with someone else's help. Then afterwards, you have to walk up to someone and say thank you. Oh my God, what a fucking nightmare! I'm assuming that's from.
Am I in the voice?
My cousin Vinny. Oh yeah, clearly.
Yeah, you win every case with someone else's help. Then afterwards, you have to walk up to someone and say thank you. Oh my God, what a fucking nightmare!
So good.
I also do. What's the one with the doe-eyed little blam is shot with the whole spiel. Okay, I'm going. Good night.
Good night, Dot. Sleep
Night,
well.
Dot.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Chat. Let's
Take
get
care.
some love for
Good
Dot,
night.
please.
Always a pleasure.
All right, and we are, and we're gonna wrap up chat with one more, which is I want this conversation between Zach and Rob, and then we'll wrap this up. So we were at the man turning to you, I think. Yeah.
Yes. The man turns to you, his eyes like polished coal. He stares through you, and for a moment, you wonder if he might be blind. The weapon suddenly turns a dead, flat black, mirroring the man's eyes.
Are you all right?
Hail, traveler.
Oh, you got that? It actually gave.
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
got a little bit of voice.
that'll
He says nothing for a moment, merely searches your face with his eyes.
Hail, traveler.
His voice is
workshop
quiet, and so
He's Texan.
Wrong. Tail
Hail,
traveler.
traveler.
Hail,
Hail,
tra-
traveler.
That's not what we hired you to do. Try it again. Do it better.
Again.
Yeah.
His voice is quiet and somber, like a wind whispering through the branches of a great tree.
Hail.
Your eyes have the weight of one who has traveled far to be in this place.
Okay.
You want me to? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just a test my voice behind mute.
You're just a passenger in your own narration, Zach.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
The man meets your gaze, his eyes burrowing into yours. His weapon drains of its black color, resuming its shimmering you noticed before you spoke to him.
Your eyes have the weight of one who has traveled far to be in this place.
That's good.
Nailed it.
Yep.
Thank you.
You could say
One more
that.
for one more for safekeeping. There we go.
One more
for safety. The man's gaze does not waver from yours.
I am known as the Khan.
But is it the long con or the short con?
The Khan.
The emphasis he places on the word known strikes you as odd, yet familiar at the same time.
You are not known to me.
So 2 things about this that are interesting. One, if anyone watched my Neverwinter Nights 2 main campaign playthrough with Mask of the Betrayer, no, not Mask of the Betrayer, just the main campaign, the Gith Zerai, not the Gith Yankee, but the Gith Zerai character in that talks all the time about know this and know that. They put a lot of emphasis on that. Secondly, this voice, which I love, is reminding me of like Liam Neeson. Basically, like, I am known as Dukat, like very much like I have special skills.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm digging that.
Yeah.
I do not know myself.
That is for the best. In knowing yourself, there would be little in the plains left worth knowing.
He falls silent for a moment, still studying you with his cold, black eyes.
I would know why you have come to this city.
I'm looking for answers. I have many questions.
Speak your questions. I will hear you.
Your features are unfamiliar to me. What are you?
A Gith Zerai.
No, none of your gibberish. What? No, I'm.
A Gith Zerai.
Gesundheit.
A Gith Zerai is one of the people.
One of the people?
In this room. A Gith Zerai.
Who's on first? Yes, but what are the Gith Zerai exactly?
The Khan is silent for a moment. Then speaks.
Our history does not need to be made known to you. We would bleed to death on Time's blade before I recited a fraction of the histories of our people.
I always loved this guy as one of the companions because I loved lines like that. We would bleed to death on Time's blade. It's not like some incredibly novel concept, but it just shows you everything about the way the guy thinks. I don't need to know your histories, but I would know of your people. But I would know of your people as they are now.
The Khan is silent for a moment.
Know this, and accept it as an answer. We are the people who make our home upon the shifting plane of limbo.
With a deft motion,
Limbo.
the Khan slips the blade from his back and holds it before him.
All right.
There, we mold the matter of limbo with our minds. We forge cities with our thoughts.
As you watch, a series of rippling waves of metal begin to roll forth from the center of the blade. The pitch and crest of the waves match the inflections in Dakan's voice.
In its chaos we dwell, with only our knowing to preserve us. We are the Gith Zerai.
What is that blade you have? It moved, shifted in response to your voice.
It is a Karak blade. It is an object that lets others know the rank of the wielder.
Karak. What does that mean?
Dakan falls silent for a moment. He does this a lot.
I do.
As if searching for the correct words.
In your tongue, the closest translation is chaos matter. The people may shape it with their thoughts.
Okay, the people?
The Gith Zerai. I just knew he was going to say that.
And you say the Gith Zerai can shape this Karak with their thoughts?
Karak is not shaped by heat, but by knowing oneself. It is a mirror that reflects the will of the wielder on its surface and in its edge. When one knows themselves, the blade is strong, harder and stronger than steel. When one does not know themselves, the blade is water, formless and weak.
It's really cool stuff. Are you willing to sell it? What? What rank? Yes. Now that I know, I will sell it for 50 copper. What rank?
I know I need money for food, so yes.
Know that I am hungry. What rank does the blade signify?
The blade is a symbol carried by the Zerth. A Zerth is one who knows the words of Zerthamon. In knowing the words of Zerthamon, they know themselves.
Zerthamon?
Yes, we're very
founded
Zerthty.
our race. He founded our race. He knew the Githzerai before they knew themselves. He defined the people. He gave them one mind.
I had some other questions.
Speak your questions. I will hear you.
You seem to place a special emphasis on knowing. What do you mean?
All things, whether structure or flesh, their existence is defined by their knowing of themselves.
And if a man does not know himself?
When a man does not know himself, it is flawed. A man, a mind. When a mind...
Yes.
Know that I have forgotten what I meant to say.
The mind begins to recoil in horror.
Yes.
When a mind is flawed, the man is flawed. When a man is flawed, that which he touches is flawed. It is said that what a flawed man sees, his hands make broken.
Do you know yourself?
Dakan falls silent.
I fall silent.
He falls silent. He falls on the floor. He's now dead. You walk away and take his blade with you.
Yes.
His coal black eyes take on the same distance that you noticed when you first spoke.
I'm not going to ask him that first question because I like this character and I... Never mind, I had some other questions. Do you know of a man named Farid? I'm told he knows something about me.
That one is not known to me.
I had some other questions. I've lost a journal. Do you know where it might be?
The location of such a thing is not known to me.
I had some other questions. Tell me about the city.
I know you have lots of questions.
It is known by the name Sigil. Among the people, it is known as the city that does not know itself.
Doesn't know itself? What do you mean?
It's rhetorical nonsense.
The city exists, but it does not know itself. In not knowing itself, its existence is flawed.
How is it flawed?
The city exists in opposition to itself. It has set itself apart from the planes, yet it seeks to be everywhere at once. Its walls are doors, yet its doors keep these doors, yet its doors. Yet it keeps these doors locked. Such an existence tells of a thing that does not know itself. In not knowing itself, it is flawed.
When you say this city is everywhere at once, what do you mean?
The city itself is built from doors. These doors lead everywhere.
Where are these doors?
What is a door?
They are everywhere.
Dakan falls silent. For a moment.
Really, this guy should just be falling into speech more than silent, like he spends most of his time, so.
Yeah.
It is said that every bounded space within this city is a door that leads elsewhere.
I don't understand, even though I do.
Imagine the door to the smoldering corpse bar. Remove the door. The frame remains. The space within the frame is still a door.
But that space is not known to the door.
The door does not know itself, and thus.
The gifts
but
are
I walked through that door to get in here. It's just an open space. And
The
this
mind
coming
of a
back
door
to
is a
me
terrible thing to
against all
space.
odds. It's a chance I have to take. I wish I could just make you turn around and see me.
Many are the doors you never see. You may pass through them as if air and not know them for what they are. They are closed to your sight and touch.
And these invisible doors are everywhere in Sigil?
Are you the people of the doors?
It is said every bounded space in Sigil is a door.
Oh my god.
It is not known for certain. Doors move, doors change, wash cloth, sell cloth. Doors disappear. All are locked.
I feel like I'm leaving. I feel like I'm leaving with more questions than answers.
I
Okay.
keep waiting for the turn around and just be like, start playing the keyboard, dun 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 dun, like just breaks into the doors.
People are strange when you're a stranger.
When you're strange. right, locked.
The doors remain as air until you have the key that opens them. When you have the key, the doors will make themselves known to you.
A door of air isn't very useful.
Every door has a different key. Some keys are known, others are not known.
What are these keys?
There are as many keys as there are. There is many keys as there are doors.
Someone was asleep in
Well,
QA.
let me tell you a story about these keys. I found one underneath the couch one time.
Oh dear. I mean, hey, I'm here for it. The keys are not always things.
The keys are not always things of metal. The keys can be the clashing of two swords, a drop of blood drawn from the tongue of a dying man.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The memory of past love, or an angry curse hurled at the sky. When the key and door match, the door reveals itself.
Oh, nice. I see you found the keys to my truck. Thank you.
Sounds like finding all these keys and doors can be difficult.
Such a task has been attempted, but never finished. As the city changes, the doors change. Nothing known remains known for long.
Okay, I think that's all of the questions.
You ever have one of those conversations where you talk to somebody for like 20 minutes and don't come out of it any smarter than when you went into it? It feels kind of like this.
As you turn to leave, Dakan falls silent. No, as you turn to leave, the man speaks sharply. The first time you have heard his tone change since the conversation began.
Hold.
The man's voice levels out.
This city is not known to you. I would travel your path with you.
I want to tell you more about doors.
I accept.
I wanna sing the song
an extra
of
blade
Sojo.
would be welcome because it's me and a talking skull, and I need some help.
Your path is mine.
Your path is mine.
Strangely enough, his voice seems distant, and it echoes, as if he was speaking from across a great distance.
I mean, okay. So that's him. Whoops, no, not that guy. Nope. So this right here is him, and he has this, he's a fighter mage, and he has this Zerth Blade, which is 2-9 slashing, +1 to armor class, +1 to AC, and it's usable only by Dakan. And I believe that this thing, I don't remember, but I think this thing, like, alters as he does.
Damn, he's a looker, too. Jesus.
I know, right?
Ladies, he's single.
You can do aid. It's special +2 to strength. Means I should clearly put that there. Yeah, so a thing that I want to mention is, like, this is the year 2000 that we're talking about, right? And that this came out. I mean, this is heady stuff. When people were used to just, we're not going to do O right now, although boy, do I want to talk to the guy who thinks he's a letter. So suddenly Sesame Street.
Did you want to talk to the other companion real quick? Just to
Ignis?
Yeah, just the one you wanted me to do.
I can try.
Yeah.
Let me save it, and we're gonna save this, but not as that.
Oh wait, Ignis is the other companion?
Yep. Eventually, I don't remember when he.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember when he joins you, but he does join you.
That's pretty dope.
You may not be able to talk to him until you can put the fire out.
I think he's smoldering when he goes with you, though, or maybe it's just enough for him to go with you. Know that I would have you come with us. Greetings? No.
No.
So I can't do it yet.
No, doesn't happen yet.
All right, we'll talk to O later.
We'll cut it for them.
And we've got this time later on. Oh, yeah, that's right. You also get to talk to Aethelgrin, who's one of these Avsarai and Tegarin, and they're like really arrogant, just like get out of our face all the time. Oh, man. There's just so many cool characters in this game. And just the concept of like, well, he burned a bunch of people, so they got sick of it, brought it together, and now he's just a living door to the plane of fire, but he has such great will that he just never dies. You're just like, what? You know.
And he pirouettes occasionally.
Yeah, just wild stuff. I mean, the game has not been saved. The game was saved. I saved it.
Save it again.
You moved.
There we go. So
No signal. Our favorite character of the evening.
we've lost the whole thing. All right. Yeah, so again, just like really wildly interesting stuff. And, again, some of it is stuff that now people be like, oh, yeah, I know what this is all about.
No, you just hit restart now.
Yeah, I did. That's fine.
Oh, you use a two casting. You use
yeah.
two computers. I forgot.
Yeah.
I was like, wait.
No, we're gonna be lost. No, it's fine. But it's really, really cool stuff. Yeah, 2 to 9. Yeah, not 2D9. 2D9 would be a whole different thing. So that
your death is known to me.
That guy, like, he's someone that I make fun of, but also I'm just like, all right, say some more things. Your things are known to me. Like, yes. Say more of your cool stuff, Liam Neeson. So that chat is more Planescape Torment. I think this is a fun thing for the Arvocalists because I like hearing them kind of really get to sink their teeth a little bit into this. It reminds me of the Banner Saga, but sort of more weird and not as depressing. In a way, which is
a lot more fun can be had with this. Yeah.
It's restarting. That's fine. It's not gonna matter because I'm gonna get through this and I'll be fine. So I will start at the bottom of the column. I do want to thank, of course, Dot for being with us and for being a trooper, even though the cables were being eaten all the time. And I also want to send a shout out again to Russ, who has just welcomed his third child to the family. Yeah. And Russ, we will have you back here soon, and hope all's well, my friend, and we will talk to you down the line. As for the two gentlemen who are left, I will start with the person down below, and we'll start with Rob. Rob, good stuff. Not as much with Mort you're able to do today because he wasn't talking as much, but we got some narrations. We got some others. We got Phineas.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Type of thing, so we got to get that voice in there. How'd you feel about
jowling?
How are you feeling about Planescape so far? And we'll focus see you next.
I love it. It's great. It reminds me a lot of the stuff that I love doing when I stream something like Pathfinder or Pillars of Eternity and stuff like that, where it's just there's a lot of really nice, really meaty, content to dig into and kind of make fun voices for and really have a lot of fun with, which is something I've been spending a lot of time doing because one of the audiobooks I've been working on has a thing about it where every chapter is like a different narrator and focusing on a different character. And so it's a lot of fun juggling a lot of different voices and getting to try out a lot of different things. It is very interesting with this game though, when the game decides to finally have some pre-recorded audio in it.
And but you noticed only a couple of lines, like only a couple things.
Yeah. And they're extremely poor quality.
Yeah.
Just to establish.
Just so funny. I mean, it's cool to be spending time with this. I think the thing that's so funny to me too about this game is just how heavily it relies on story, because even they know it's like combat is going to be a part of it, but they just don't have the means to make it the best part of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's fascinating. And I think it even just shows you how much better games are now because of it that try to do both really well, including stuff like Pathfinder or Divinity Original Sin or Pillars of Eternity, bringing both the writing and the gameplay to bear, building off of games exactly like this, whether you've played it or not. We play it and do the voices so you don't have to, but so that you can get to see kind of where all this stuff came from. So it's really cool, especially because I didn't play this originally when it came out, either because I think mostly it was because I really wasn't an RPG person as a kid, surprisingly, with all this stuff that I've come into now. I think I've said this before, but like I'm much more of a fantasy RPG person now. When I was a kid, I was much more a JRPG and like Japanese game console player. Mostly because getting games to run in the 90s sucked.
Oh yeah.
And when you could get them to run, it was like, the stars, moons, and heavens aligned. It was absolute bedlam. So yeah, consoles were a nice place to go to when nothing worked.
Yep.
But I had a ton of fun with this tonight. And speaking of voice acting, if you guys want to find out about, see, and listen to some of the work that I've been working on, you should definitely go check out my Audible page. Just go look up Robert Austin James on Audible, and you'll find the 3 books that I currently have out right now that are all part of the Shadowrun universe. Shadowrun Neat, Shaken, and Chaser, all by the incredible and extremely talented Russell Zimmerman. I'm very proud of them. The work is really, I think, some of my best, but I think my best is still yet to come because I have 2 more books that I'm working on right now that hopefully will be coming out next month. I'm actually working on them at the same time, recording and editing, and you should definitely check them out because they're very fun. And if you want to hear more of my voice acting work on my stream, I am currently playing through Final Fantasy XIV's expansions, Heavensward through to Stormblood, Shadowbringer, and hopefully eventually Endwalker, and doing voice acting for all the parts that allow me to do voice acting there, as well as other games on my stream. And I will be having some music stuff that I'm working on as well, in anticipation of my second EDM album, which will hopefully be coming out before the spring. And be sure to check out all the other links on my Twitch page, which is twitch.tv/DarksideRob, RAHB. I was thinking about the spelling and did the lettering wrong. But yeah, it's a lot of good stuff. Very, very busy. And I will see everyone back here on Saturday for some fun D&D in Eberron. And that will be very fun too, because we unfortunately were not able to do the last session because we were the walking wounded, or maybe not walking so much.
Seriously.
But hopefully we'll all be in better shape come Saturday. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight. It's always fun to have you guys here, and I hope you were laughing as much as we were being silly chuckle fucks tonight.
It's good stuff, Rob. Thank you, my friend. Always a pleasure, and it was also a pleasure.
And I'm glad that I was feeling good enough to do it, because
I was
going to
say, yeah, and everything coming together. That's great.
It really, nothing makes you feel like quite as frail and weak as a creature on this planet as being knocked sideways by reading something. It's just oh, cool. Human beings are just like we're so weak and pathetic. So I'm glad I've been feeling better.
That's good. I'm glad you are too, and it was good to have you here. And we will see Rob for more Arvocalists next month and Eberron this coming Saturday. This Friday, we're going to see more of this gentleman, one Mr. Zach Clay, and Zach also really good stuff tonight. I was loving some of these voices, and especially that last one was like. Rob's right. Like, you hear the first one, it's like, I'm doing kind of a fake Liam Neeson, and then you're like, here's the actual voice, and I'm like, yes, just settle into the warm embrace of good voice acting. But I really was enjoying feeling that, just sort of getting a sense of there's kind of a richness, I think, to a lot of the characters in this, and seeing the sort of plumbing the depths of those characters, even if it turns out being Marissa Tomei, as Dot was doing, is always a lot of fun. So I'm curious how you felt about tonight, and where the fine folks, besides Esper Genesis on Friday, but where else the folks might find you.
Tonight was a lot of fun. I'm mostly just here just for Dot's voices. I mean, that's really why we're all here. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Sigil is very crazy and interesting, and now we've also met the first new person in the party, so that's going to be pretty fun. And yeah, I particularly like all the really weird original stuff, like the smoldering man literally being like what you were saying earlier, like he's an open plane to the plane of fire and still has the will to live. Anyway, super cool. So the fine people will find me on Friday for Esper Genesis, level 10. Whoops, very soon to be level 11. And then you'll find me on Sunday on my channel. I'm doing a longer stream sort of throughout the day, everything from Minecraft to Souls-like games to Alien Isolation. So come by on Sunday.
A little bit of a subathon. Yeah, at one point I want to see if there's some kind of competitive speed run category, just have both of you run like Dark Souls or Bloodborne, so I can watch both of you and be like, look, this is how people know how to play these games. I would never play these games, but I just love watching these people play. But it'll be fun to see. It'll be fun to see some of that. I'll see if I can stop by on Sunday.
Oh, Elden Ring comes out so soon. I'm so excited.
Me too.
I have so many of the. I have to play through the entire franchise of the games again before that happens, though.
That's true, but I am looking forward to seeing some of those things on your channels, plural, both of you. But it was great to have you folks here. And chat, can we get some love again for the members of the Arvocalists here? We already talked about Russ and Dot, but especially today, because they're here, is Zach Clay and one Mr. Darkside Rob. Good to see both of you, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you folks soon. Bye. For now.
Peace.
Alrighty. And that means that I can... Let me just make sure that I fix this so I can go back to this thing. Right. So... There we go. As we switch back over. Switch back over to this like that. Lovely. The joy of studio mode. And I have to... Wait a minute. I got to undo that. I got to do on that projection. There we go. Now it's fixed it. I've done it all. Yes, Chad. So anyway, this was great. I really enjoyed this, and I'm glad that we had a chance to play Planescape Torment. As I said, Planescape Torment is one of my top games, and of course, it's been a very long time since I played it, which is why I don't remember all of the details. But a lot of these things that are starting to pick up, I'm just sort of remembering, oh, yes, there's this and this and this. And it's another one of those things that I think if you just roll with the weirdness of it, if you're not looking for it to make sense, if you're just sort of like, let me just see how this goes, it really has this experience of just sort of becoming more immersed in it. And that's very much a tradition, I think, within the world of Planescape, and within the world, of course, of Sigil, and then later on Numenera, this is all sort of linked. So Monty Cook stuff, Numenera, it's very much, again, you just kind of have to embrace the weird and kind of go with it. And if you're willing to do that, then you can have a really enjoyable experience, I think. But for people who are going to be like, what? I don't understand. This is taking too long to explain. Then maybe not in that case. But in any case, it was great fun to be able to see it. And I appreciate the fact that Dot managed it despite her cable being chewed through. And we will be back next month, probably playing this again, I would guess. Do some more of this with the Arvocalists, because I think this was a good time. As for me, I will be off Wednesday and Thursday, but I'll be back with you folks on Friday for Esper Genesis. Again, as I announced, Esper Genesis is now going to be concluding. The Shadow of the Zephyr campaign will be concluding in May during ArvCon, and then in June we're going to be launching the Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks campaign by the same company, set in the same world, actually, with different characters, but there may be interactions that can have with that characters as well. So that's going to be really cool. Alligator Alley will be sponsoring us again, so that's really exciting, and I'm happy to be back in the saddle with them. So that's going to be happening, as I say, as of June. And then Saturday, we've got D&D with Infinity and Beyond, Eberron, Oracle of War, Where the Dead Wait. And you will see Rob back there to go along with John and with Trendane and with Marie and with Jen, all of whom are going to be, I hope, feeling much better than they were last time when we had booster reactions, migraines, vertigo, and all the rest of it. Again, as Rob said, it was like the walking wounded, but I think everyone's feeling better now, knock on wood. So they're going to be back for you folks on Saturday. And then Sunday, remember, we've got the return of Soundclash the Clampdown, which is going to be really cool, with Brandon O'Brien and company. And that'll be on Sunday. And then next Tuesday, we'll be playing The Council on the Patreon Field Chat Chosen Game of the Month. More D&D with GOG Ghosts of Saltmarsh over on GOG. And then possibly there is a chance, now we don't know yet for sure, but there is an off chance that next Wednesday, the 26th, may mark the return of Community D&D and the Shadow Crew. If not, it's going to be close. If it's not this Wednesday, it could well be the weekend after, the Wednesday, afterwards, because the folks are going to be in different situations. Computers will be upgraded and improved and all that stuff. So I'm hoping that will be the case. And then Friday, the 28th, and Saturday, the 29th, I think one of those 2 days I have listed as maybe a Legacy of Dragonholt day, because I want to wrap up Legacy of Dragonholt. And the other day will be some Golden Sun. So that's what we're looking at. It's going to be good times. Yeah, that will be it as we move out of January and into February. But that, however, is going to do it for me for tonight. I hope you folks enjoyed what you saw and heard today. And if so, I hope you will follow the channel. I hope you will check out the YouTube with !ArvTube, Discord with !ArvCord, Twitter with !ArvTweets, and the website for this, arvanelaron.com. Again, if those of you have done so, for those of you who have not done so already, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm really trying to push that. Excuse me. We are up to 810, I believe it is now, subscribers, and that's great. We've gained probably 30 or 40 subscribers over the last couple of weeks, and we're really trying to push that, because the more subscribers we get there, the more flexible it will allow me to be in terms of that and this channel, especially once we reach 1,000 subscribers over on YouTube. So please consider jumping on board with that. Does not cost you anything, but it'll really make a difference for us. So please consider doing that. Again, on the financial side, !Arv Shop for my merchandise area. You can get swag and also support the channel. !Arv is the Patreon. The financial backbone of the channel makes it possible for me to do stuff like that, for me to have stuff like this, makes it possible for me to do all of this. And actually, this looks slightly, a little bit whited out to me. I didn't actually notice that before. Let's warm that up a bit. Warm it up, Chris. That's better. See, give it a little bit of just a little bit of warmth to this mix, like that. See, like a warm blanket. So that's the deal with that. So the Patreon, !Arvtron, plus you can get cool stuff for yourself as well. And of course, subscribing to the channel is always appreciated. And thanks to those of you who did that, and to those of you who cheered tonight, I appreciate that very, very much. Finally, on the publishing side, !Icarus for my Icarus graphic novel, !Library for Tales and Tomes, The Forbidden Library, my 5e adventure and sourcebook, and of course, !Greyshade KS for details about my Greyshade Kickstarter. Greyshade the novel will be published on May 31st, and Greyshade the Kickstarter is going to be launching soon thereafter. Presumably during the summer. We'll have final details on that soon, and we're very excited for the prospects for that, and we'll be talking more about that in the days and weeks and months ahead. Last but certainly not least, as always, !BLM, Black Lives Matter, very important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives, and !Help Now, which is the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Very important to reach out to others when you need help, and to reach out to others when they need help as well. We are going to do a raid today, and the raids we do are very simple. If you are a sub, you're going to do this. The Arvanauts have landed. Sorry, that's if you're not a sub. The Arvanauts have landed followed by Twitch raid, lowercase Twitch, uppercase R, lowercase AID. If you are a sub, you're going to do this, which is Arvany Hype, and then you've got Twitch raid again. You got Arvany Roar, Arvany Witch, Arvany What, Arvany Woe, Arvany Blown, Arvany Love, all the Arvanys, Arvany Smug, all the Arvanys when you are brought over auto-magically to the channel that we're going to be supporting. Hey, Marinda, what's up? Yeah, literally coming to an end now. Streamed quite a bit today, actually, but the time has come. So I want to thank everyone who made this an awesome stream today. Thank you to wonderful mods, again, Arudno, Rock God, The Rising Tides. Thank you, everybody. Thank you as well to my subscribers and Patreon supporters, Arudno, Rock God, The Rising Tides, Darkside Rob, Echo Alpha X5, Nonstop, Crit Twitch, Mrs. Dunsel, Prince Justin, and Trendane. Thank you as well thank you for all that support from all of them. Thank you to my viewers. Thank you to Beth in Wonderland, Cat Rambo, Commanders, Commandons. Thank you to Terminologies, Excel, Lordless, Marinda, Nat Zelly, The Raven Rolls, The Sparkly Wallflower, Total Control, and Wenchkin. Thanks, everyone, for everything, and a special thanks today to the wonderful Arvocalists, to Little Red Dot, who was here today. Thank you to Darkside Rob. Thank you to Zach Clay. Hopefully we'll get Russ back in a couple of months as the situation with his new arrival settles down and he's got the 3 kids that he's taking care of. So hopefully that will happen as time goes on. But that's it for me. Much love to everyone, and I will see you wonderful people soon. Stick around for the raid, and otherwise I will be back on Friday with some Esper Genesis. Until then, everyone be good to each other. I'm gone.